The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Let me know if you recognize this, Nick.
All right. This is the lyrics to, God help us, it's Metallica.
Yep.
Master of Puppets.
That's correct.
Okay, the lyrics to Master of Puppets. Should I also be able to recognize the tune?
Who's singing it and everything? No, I don't think so. This is a guy, is he called Yacht Boy Summer or is an album?
No, that's his album.
That's the album, okay.
He's called The Professor,
That's
Nick
right.
Harrison.
That's right. This guy, he does a lot of this, yacht rock, metal stuff, and he's awesome. He's fun to watch. I was watching a couple of his videos yesterday. A buddy of mine turned me on to him.
You always find the best mashups, Cubby, you do. The yacht rock thing has really taken off in popularity now, hasn't it? Over the weekend, I think I heard an ad for a band called Yachtly Crew.
That's hilarious. I've never heard of that.
Nice.
You remember, was it the State Fair a couple of years ago? We just decided for whatever reason to listen to yacht rock on the way there.
Yes.
Maybe 2-3 years. Oh, actually, maybe it might even have been longer than that.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was pre-pandemic. What am I talking about?
There was a satellite radio channel, I think it was just simply called Yacht Rock, was it not?
Yep, it comes back every summer.
It comes back every summer, he says. Okay. Yeah, I remember that, and I'm seeing more and more acts out there. A few years ago, maybe less than that, there was an act going around my neighborhood, hitting up some of the bars on Lake Minnetonka. Oh, damn, they had a cute name for the band. They were a yacht rock act.
Anywhere near as good as Yachtly Crew?
Well, that's the thing. I can't remember now what their cute name was. It must not have been as good as Yachtly Crew, or I would have remembered it. But I dig it. I dig that stuff. I do. I when I'm looking to chill out, I listen to that 70s and 80s soft rock. You guys know I go. I go and see. I'll get there in a minute. All Out of Love, Lost in Love. Help me. Air Supply. Every year, me and the friggin' wife go see Air Supply down at one of those casinos. The yacht rock movement. Go ahead. Way better than a ska movement.
I don't hate ska like you do, but
you should hate ska.
The ska covers of metal songs, I haven't really been into those.
Throw them in the garbage.
But you watch this guy sing. He's awesome. He's cool to watch.
The dude you just played us?
Yeah. Or Wapo played.
Does he kind of get into it? He dances around?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Got a lot of personality?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Welcome to our silly little program here.
What's up, Butterfaces? How's everybody this morning? Everybody good?
Doing great.
Man.
Butterface. Wow.
I'm pretty excited about today.
What are you so pumped up about?
Well, we got a couple guests I look forward to talking to.
Dump them on me.
Well,
because I'm not prepared at all. I have no idea who's coming.
I think you know exactly who's coming in. C Willi Myles.
Sure.
Our entertainer friend, C Willi Myles. He'll join us starting around Randy Shaver time.
And he'll appreciate you calling him an entertainer.
Yeah, he's not a comic. He's an entertainer.
Not a comic.
That's not sarcastic. It's true. And then James Dupree, an old friend of the radio station, lead singer at Jackyl.
Wonder if he remembers us.
I doubt it. I mean, he might remember. He'll remember 93X. I don't think there's any way he'll forget the radio station simply because he's done so many events with us over the years. But you and me specifically, probably not, unfortunately. But it'll be great. We get to see him in Wisconsin Friday night.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's getting in during the day or if he's getting in maybe Thursday night and he'd be willing to get up early and stop in for the broadcast.
Well, let's just see how today goes first.
He's one of the better interviews we've had. That's going to go well.
Let's just see how it goes.
Unless he's changed over the last decade or so.
It's been a poke since we talked to James Dupree. But yeah, I'm excited to see his band Friday night. I've gone on and on over the last couple of months about how much I love Jackyl, especially their live act. So both of them Southern gentlemen, C Willi Myles from Alabama, Jesse James from Georgia. You folks ever spend much time in the deep south? I did.
Never.
It's squirrely down there. That's the word that fits best, I think. Squirrely.
The only southern state I've been to is Florida. I mean, Southern California, you're not going to count that. But that's as south as I've been.
And,
same here.
I actually really, I had a great time down there. I really did.
I've heard Georgia's great.
Well, I didn't, Florida, Mississippi, what's the one to the west of Mississippi? Louisiana. Those are the ones I've been to. I really did enjoy it. I was kidding about, maybe I wasn't totally kidding about how folks are squirrely, but I had a great time, drank our asses off, loved the food. The only thing, and I've mentioned this before, the only thing that gave me the willies, straight up chill up my spine, the only element of Southern people that gave me a little chill up my spine was the first time I heard a grown man refer to his father as daddy.
Oh,
that is weird.
I wouldn't be ready for that.
That is weird.
Every damn dude that I met down there in Mississippi or Louisiana, when speaking of their dad or their father, they said, my daddy this, my daddy that. My daddy died. My daddy's a doctor. Your daddy? What are you, a 4-year-old? What's the matter with you? And they would say, well, what do you call your daddy? And I'd say, Dad.
Father?
Like a grown person. That was the only thing that, none of us ever call our dad father. But yeah, that was, I found that really interesting.
Yeah, it would throw me a little bit, too.
They didn't bat an eye at it. They just like to talk about they daddy.
I've heard that the Southern hospitality thing is legit. A friend of mine, I guess my brother-in-law, he's in a group, and they tour everywhere, and they were on their tour bus. They broke down somewhere in Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. Guy pulled over and said he couldn't have been nicer. He made sure he helped fix the tour bus. He brought him back to his house to make him a meal while they waited to get everything going.
Wow.
And he said it was the Southern hospitality, it's not overstated. Oh. Was that your experience?
Yeah.
And they want to make you feel welcome. Like if they see you standing there, according to him, and you don't have anybody, it looks like you're a little uncomfortable, they want to make you feel at home.
It was true for some, not for others. I'm picturing one older cat that I got to know down there. He was very much that gentlemanly, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and tried to make you as comfortable and feel as at home as possible. I'm picturing one particular guy who was very much wired like that. But I guess I can't say it was widespread. They were fairly normal. They showed you a little bit of friendliness if you showed them a little bit of friendliness. It wasn't like it was overwhelming.
So it wasn't completely noticeable then, like I said, his experience?
I wouldn't call it noticeable. Just one dude was very much, so there you go. We got company this morning.
Regarding the word noticeable, I had a energy drink before we went on the show, and I noticed as I'm talking, I've been very expressive with my hands. Oh, and I was wondering if you noticed that. My arms are going everywhere. I'm up. It's kind of crazy. I look like one of those super tall, inflatable, skinny guys standing outside a car dealership on a holiday.
No, that hasn't been noticeable. You're always fairly expressive with your arms and hands.
Oh, am I really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just hyper aware right now.
You got a lot of problems.
Oh, no, because you guys make fun of another guy in the building that's super expressive with his hands. Do I get made fun of, too, and I just don't know?
No.
Uh-oh, am I that guy?
Normal.
No, you're not that guy.
You do it.
Oh, because I do the same thing I've noticed lately. Is when I'm telling a story, I really use my hands a lot.
I just noticed it for the first time today that I do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep my hands in my pockets from now on.
You didn't draw any attention to yourself. You're fine.
All right.
You're just all gunned up on
my arms want to move.
Caffeine and.
What could I possibly do with my arms or hands?
I'll show you something.
Let me ask you something, Josh. You're a big Halloween celebrator type of a guy. You probably your fly is going up and down like a window shade here as we close in on Halloween.
I do look forward to it.
Did you get around? You also like television programming. So did you get around to watching Undead Beetleman?
No, I have not seen Undead Beetleman.
But in the weeks leading up to the release of that motion picture, You were jaw-jacking about it, and you were very expressive with your hands.
I didn't say anything about Undead Beetle Man. But if you're talking about what some people call Beetlejuice, I did watch that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched it over the weekend.
Oh,
As a matter of fact, I bought a 2-pack.
Oh, just this past weekend?
Yeah, I bought the original and the new one.
Nice.
What'd you think now?
Oh, I thought it was great.
A lot of fun?
Yeah, you're always worried that they're going to ruin how much you loved the first one.
What'd you say about Bill and Ted's?
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Bill and Ted's 2 was just fine, but the most recent one,
Right.
gosh, that just ruined it.
So you were worried that the original Beetlejuice, just for the record, never saw it. You were worried that the original Beetlejuice, which was so wonderful, would be ruined by this follow-up here.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
No, not at all. I mean, it's not as good, but it was great.
The reason I went at it with that angle, Undead Beetle Man, the Halloween costume shops, they like to sell these wacky, cheap-looking costumes, and they want to hit on all the hot, latest gimmicks, but they can't say this is a Paris Hilton costume. They have to say rich socialite costume, right? You know the gimmick, right?
Yeah.
I see all those. It's pretty hilarious. Sometimes if you don't look, I mean, you know exactly what it is, right?
Right.
Undead Beetle Man.
Yeah.
And sorry that I couldn't make any more of a modern reference than Paris Hilton. Right now, a 16-year-old kid is saying, who the hell is it? Sorry, that's as far as I could reach it in the moment. The Beetlejuice costume that you might see hanging in a Halloween shop this year, they're calling it Undead Beetle Man so they don't get sued.
Just imagine a kid walking up to the door trick-or-treating. Oh, are you Undead Beetle Man? That's a wonderful costume.
You know what? I'm going to say that if there's a Beetlejuice this year.
You have to.
All right, now the others to look for, I hate to even bring it up, but there's the Hawk Loogie Girl.
Dude. Gross.
Who's actually going to dress up like her?
That was one of the things I was considering, as a matter of fact. But now maybe it's just too much.
You were not.
Yeah, I was thinking about being the Haktua girl just to annoy people for that exact reason.
Right,
Like, why
okay.
would you do that?
If you're doing it ironically, then it's funny. But if you're actually like, oh, I'm going to be the Haktua girl.
All right, I'm going to give you the, the phony, we don't want to get sued Halloween costume name, and you tell me what they're obviously referencing.
What if we've already seen the list?
Well, then you can just
still participate.
sit there and along with me, Josh, you can make fun of the answers we get from the other room.
Okay.
Breakdance champion,
Ray gun.
pop princess, and football man.
Taylor Swift and Kelsey.
Which Kelsey?
Travis.
Unusual events kid.
Stranger Things.
That's right, Stranger Things.
Unusual events kid.
I mean, yeah.
This is so dumb. It's just so dumb. What about the Sidekick brothers?
Oh, Super Mario Bros.
Yep.
I'm looking for direct names.
Oh, Mario and Luigi.
That's right, Ashley. Mario and Luigi.
Dang it, I was so close.
Mr.
So proud I'm dumb.
Mr. Smiley. It's a new movie that no one likes, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah, everybody hates
Oh,
The
Terrifier.
Joker.
It's not Terrified. What did Ashley say?
The Joker.
There it is.
High school
I love the Joker.
karate turtle.
it. It's a tough one. Are you guys serious?
No, it's so obvious, right?
Ninja
They know what that is. Purple
High
artist.
school turtles.
Huh?
I just like that. I love that description.
High school karate turtle. All right. Purple artist man.
That'd be Prince.
Yellow shorts boy.
Oh, come on.
Bart Simpson.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you said Fart Simpson.
It did.
No, Bart.
Fantastic magician boy.
Harry Potter.
You're doing really well, Ashley.
Those are so good.
Claw man. I am Claw Man.
Edward Scissorhands?
Good guess, but no.
Related to Deadpool.
Oh, Wolverine.
Wolverines and Doll Lady.
Annabelle?
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
That is a good guess. Well, the most famous one.
I don't
Doll
even know.
Lady.
Big movie last summer, Ashley.
Oh, Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, people are still doing that? That's good.
People are still doing that. That's good.
Those costumes were adorable last year.
So you liked the movie, you did, huh, Josh?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was good.
I was worried
I'll
you were going
have
to be
to see it.
disappointed, so that makes me happy you enjoyed it, Josh.
Yeah, so was I. So I appreciate that, but I thought it was worth the money for sure.
Cool.
Were you actually really worried about Josh enjoying it or not?
Yeah, I
Because
want.
he doesn't like to be humored like that.
That's true. Yeah.
I openly always wish for Josh to be happy.
No, but were you worried? It entered your mind, oh, God, I hope Josh
When he-
enjoys the movie.
When he expressed his feelings about how excited he was, in my head I was like, oh, I hope this is another Bill and Ted situation. I hope he actually enjoys it.
Can I ask you something? When I expressed my feelings, were my arms equally as expressive? Were they all over the place?
No.
It's a little early for this. You do get expressive sometimes, Josh. But it's not like you're over the top this morning just because you bombed an energy drink before we went on the air.
All right. I'm just more noticing it.
It's a little early for this, but I guess while we're on the topic of friggin' Halloween, people have been talking on the godless, soulless, evil, awful internet. Is it okay to neighborhood hop on Halloween? Like, say, for example, when you go trick-or-treating, you don't hang around your garbage pile neighborhood. You go over to the high side of town and hit up the rich folks.
That's what
Yeah,
we did.
That's what we did too, yeah.
You know, I've actually had that thought before because we did the same thing. We used to do that. Or if it was just a better area as far as, like, where we're at now, the first 2 years we lived there, nobody participated. So we thought about, one time we went to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's place because everybody participates there. I mean, like, they closed down the streets. They line the sidewalks with, those burning bags, things like that. So they really get into it. But I did feel a little guilty, like, we don't even pay taxes in this county, much less live in this neighborhood. So I wonder if that's okay.
That surprised me. I feel like it seems like your neighborhood would be a Halloween hotspot, Josh.
I would think so, too. I mean, the last couple of years it's gotten better. But the first couple of years, I mean, you're going like every 6th, 7th house. There's just nobody really into it.
Sucks.
Yeah, growing up at my parents' house, our street used to be a hotbed. And then all of a sudden behind us, there was a new development that went in. And then everyone just started going down there because there's more houses to hit.
Well, I remember when we were kids, you knew the houses that had the full-size candy bars.
Oh,
yeah.
So
Definitely.
you'd make sure you got one of those blocks where you could get a couple of them.
Then you go back a second time, maybe take the mask off this time, so you try to, look a little bit different, so
Yeah.
you can get another one.
I don't think we ever left our neighborhood. We just stuck to.
Never like you visited family or something?
No.
Because we would, like my dad's family's from St. Paul, so we'd kind of go every other year. We'd go between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
I don't know. My brother and I, we were just never terribly gung-ho on Halloween. I mean, when we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. But then after that, I mean, we just kind of, I don't know.
I think we're done trick-or-treating. I think we're all done.
Oh, I'm
Oh, yeah. Didn't you
sorry.
mention your
That
son didn't want to go
sucks.
this
Yeah, he
year?
doesn't want to go.
Well, how old is he?
12.
We were still biking around.
Oh, yeah, there's kids way older that come through our neighborhood than that. There's high school
yeah.
kids that come through.
That
That
was
sucks
great.
when that
was,
kind of stuff ends.
was when you could just bike around, so you could even hit even more houses. So you would bring 2 pillowcases, so you
Yep.
get extra candy.
Boy, we made it our job. Oh, did your headphones fall off? They go everywhere.
Every day now, my headphones fall right off of my skull. I think a kid should be done by 11 or 12. We were done. We didn't trick-or-treat beyond 4th or 5th grade.
I thought maybe this would be his last year. But
You're too
he
old.
doesn't want to do it.
I would get aggravated. And now I don't give a rat's ass, and I usually don't answer the door anyway. I don't get into Halloween.
That's exactly when my oldest quit, too. I think he was in 7th grade and just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I think I was 8th grade.
Yeah, I thought
same here.
I thought that was too old. Now I don't really care. Whatever. Here you go, piece of candy. If you're going to be 17 and still walking around, well, go ahead, take my candy. I don't care. But for a while, I had views on this. And 7th grade, 8th grade, that's too old to be trick or treat. You're dressing up. You're not a. You're almost grown.
No, like I said, there was some high school kids that were old enough where I asked one of them if he wanted to talk about an escrow on his mortgage.
Yeah, that's not right. You should be done by 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah,
it's time to grow up and get a job.
Fourth or fifth grade.
Those were the years that we would just wear a mask and then bike around.
Yeah, like I said, we were done by 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah, I don't know about fourth. That seems a little young.
That's a little early.
I think middle school is just fine.
It's time to grow up.
Actually, I don't really care. Adults come by. It doesn't matter to me.
I do remember many years ago, I was maybe in my mid-20s, late 20s, and there was a knock on the door on, what holiday are we talking about here? Halloween. There was a knock on the door on Halloween. I didn't even have a pumpkin. For many years, I just shut all the lights off. I didn't care to get involved. But there was a knock at the door, and there was one kid who was, I don't know, 15 or 16, and there was another dude who was like 29.
Nice.
Like 30. It was not. There's no way it was father-son. No way. It was just so odd.
That's like me walking up to your door, trick or treat.
Like,
What are you?
Beer?
What are you two doing? Number one, you're both too old for this. Number one, and I wanted to know the background on the relationship. What is this 30-year-old man doing with this 16, 17-year-old kid? You're both in costume saying trick or treat. What are you doing?
That guy's been able to go to the bar for 8 years already.
Yeah, when they're a little too old, you do kind of wonder, are they scouting my place to see if they want to rob it?
Are they casing the place?
All right, so this neighborhood hop argument on social media. It says here, there are homeowners on Reddit and other neighborhood groups. I'm part of a neighborhood group. It's on social media. We talk back and forth about what was that noise at 3 o'clock in the morning. There are folks on Reddit and other neighborhood groups that complain about too many kids coming into their neighborhood to trick or treat.
That's weird to me. I want more.
Yeah, same here.
I love it.
We think very differently on that subject, yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I live in a house for the first time since high school, so I'm excited to get some trick-or-treaters this year.
Yeah,
I
it's
always
great.
lived in apartments.
Your
be
neighborhood,
honest.
you're going to get a bunch.
Yeah, I hope so.
I didn't get any when I lived over there.
Your house is hard to find, though, Ashley. It's kind of tucked away.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I didn't get like anything.
But your house had a reputation of the scary lady with all the cats. That's why nobody wanted to go to that house.
Etiquette experts say it's best to stick to your own neighborhood when you go out trick-or-treating. Yeah, we didn't leave ours. We knew everybody and had a good time. I told you before there was that couple up the street who I'm fairly certain sold cocaine, and they put on a great show every Halloween, so we'd swing by there. And
Fun.
You get the house, that has stuff for the adults, right? Some adult beverages.
Yeah.
Last year, some guy was giving out these airplane-sized bottles of booze of things I've never heard of before. I mean, no brands I recognized, even alcohols I wasn't familiar with. And a buddy of mine, he's very familiar with that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah, I've never heard of any of this.
The last time I had an airplane-sized bottle of booze, Josh, was after our booze cruise, and it was given to me by your son's girlfriend.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
We were hanging out outside the boat, and they were trying to convince me to go to the bars. And I said, I got an Uber. It's, a couple minutes away. And she's like, well, at least, take one for the road. And
She brought her own?
Yeah.
She handed me one.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
took one with them.
I even gave him money for... They went through that? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I took one with your son's girlfriend and then also your stepdaughter.
Yeah, I got home, and my fiance, she couldn't make the boat. She had a work event. She's like, why is there a tiny bottle of gin in your front shirt pocket?
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah, you'll see him in a couple days.
They're a lot of fun.
I'm not looking forward to it at all. Not looking forward to seeing those people again.
I am. They got more purse booze. Sure.
Yeah, my wife would have nothing. She'd have purse tuna. She's always got some sort of weird snack. Yeah, no purse booze.
It's going to be
They hide some of that stuff from me. That's interesting that they're bringing their own
now I
booze.
feel bad for outing them.
No, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
We ought to get going again. You're a terrific crowd, like we said. A couple of Southern gentlemen swinging by the show later. C Willi Myles. C Willi Myles around 7:30, and then a little closer to 9, Jackyl, lead singer, who you can see Friday night, like Josh said. You can see him Friday night at our party up there at Turtle Lake Casino. Lead singer at Jackyl, James Dupree. So stick around, by damn. We're happy to have you along. We're going to dive into the stupid news when we come back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
So what do you think, Josh? Did it taste rotten?
Well, I don't want to offend you, but it wasn't very good. It tasted a little spoiled for sure. And you made that with your body.
Yeah. I brought
Was
in
it
some.
supposed to be this color?
I'm sorry, we're on. I brought in some food from the fridge. I wasn't sure about it. I had Josh taste it to see if it was good or not, and he says it tastes pretty rotten.
Oh,
It's pretty gross.
gross.
You guys made a weird look on your face. You got it, Wapple? If you don't mind, give us a heads up when the mics are about to go on.
Oh, okay.
That was tuna casserole at one point or another.
Oh,
It didn't
was
taste,
pure liquid.
Seriously.
I don't think you have a future in the culinary arts.
You never would have guessed tuna, would you?
No, not at all.
And it is all liquid now.
Get out of here.
I mean, it smelled like it came from the sea, but outside of that, okay, that was stupid. Don't do that, Wapple.
All right, let's let today's edition of the Stupid News Report buck here for everybody and all of y'all. But I appreciate you being there for me on this. Josh is the type of guy you can bring in food and he'll eat it.
I'll give it a shot.
And he'll tell
Not
you
too
whether or not
picky.
whether it's expired or not. Keep the children's toys away from any methamphetamine addicts that you know. As soon as you see your meth head cousin walking up the driveway, put the children's toys out of reach, if you can. A 51-year-old man by the handle of John McKee got taken to jail in Indiana for driving a Power Wheels Jeep around town, all twisted up on meth rocks.
That's unique.
You know what I'm talking about? One of those little battery-powered little pink Jeeps that the kids race around.
I always wanted one of those
I was
when I
just going
was
to
a
say
kid.
the same thing.
Me
actually.
too. I always thought, wow, those are like the richest folks around.
That's how you know you made it in life, when you're rolling around the neighborhood in one of those.
Do you guys remember, I think it was called the Green Machine?
Now, that's a big wheel type of an
Yeah, it's more
operation.
of a big wheel, and it had kind of like an elliptical. You would work it like an elliptical, if I remember right.
Boy, I don't remember the specifics. I remember the brand name, the Green Machine. Yeah, when we
look that
were
up.
looks like it's a Huffy.
when we were 5-6-year-old little kids. Well, I don't know. How old are you when you start riding one of those bicycles?
I mean, I'm trying to remember, like 5 or 6.
Okay. Well, before we
Sometimes earlier, I guess, with training wheels,
before we started riding bicycles, we had big wheels. That was the our mode of transportation. And I'll tell you what, I had trouble with that bicycle at first. I did. But then eventually I got the hang of it. But my twin brother was able to ride a bicycle before I was. I think maybe he had a week's worth of bicycle riding before I could figure it out. So we're in our folks' driveway. I'm spinning round and round on my stupid little broken big wheel because the big wheels that our folks bought us, of course, were the 50-cent garbage brand, and they just broke right away. Anyway, so I'm riding around the driveway on my big wheel. I'm on, you know how the big wheel was. You sit down on your ass, you're way down low, and I'm pedaling my little scrawny legs off. My brother is up on some big, heavy-duty, stinking beach cruiser bicycle, right? Because he's figured out how to ride the damn thing before I did, and he ran me over.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was a terrible accident. I still remember that big, fat beach cruiser tire just hitting me right in the skull.
Poor little Nick.
He just went right over me. Pop-home.
I remember giving my dad a look. I just couldn't believe it. I no longer trusted him. I trusted my father. And he's teaching me how to ride a bike, and he's holding onto the seat. And I'm like, don't you let go. Don't you dare let go. Otherwise, I'm going to fall over. And he let go, and I made it a couple pedals, and then I fell over when I realized, I think out of fear, when I realized he wasn't still back there.
Yeah.
And I looked at him like, what the hell, bro?
You got raspberries all up and down. What do they call that again? Is that raspberry?
Yeah, raspberries.
Yeah.
Road rash.
Road rash.
No, I didn't get hurt, but I was hurt emotionally.
Oh.
He told me he wasn't going to let go, and he let go.
I think that's what hurt me more when my brother ran me over with the beach cruiser. It was more of a lack of respect thing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see me over here on the... I know you want to be a hard-on about this because you're on a bicycle and I'm not. So it was probably intentional. So again, a 51-year-old man by the name of John McKee went to jail in Indiana for driving a Power Wheels Jeep around town, and he was high on meth. A cop was patrolling around town, and he upped and spotted the little battery-powered mini Jeep with a fully grown adult squeezed in behind the wheel.
We learned, you and I, that you can pick up chicks if you're a little kid driving one of those things. Do you remember?
I do.
We were at a friend's party, and my son was there, and one of our friends had brought their daughter.
Right.
And my son's driving her around like they're a couple, going around and around, and they take turns driving that thing.
Well, I don't think he gave her a turn. That's what
I thought she drove too. Okay,
that's
maybe
what we were laughing so hard about.
Maybe it was just him.
Well, whose Power Wheel was it?
It was the homeowner.
Okay. Your son, more importantly, my godson, shows up at this beer party, and he ain't even drinking yet.
No, he's still not, actually. He's 12.
And he just jumps right behind the wheel of this Power Wheels van like it's his, and he kind of popped open the passenger door and gestured for this little girl to get in the passenger seat with him, and off they went. It was like, hey, baby, get over here and sit down. What's the matter with you? We're going for a ride. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was like something like Fonzie would have pulled on Happy Days.
Yeah, he had Riz. He doesn't have it anymore, but back then he did. And I didn't even know what Riz was at that point.
It was dark out when the cops saw this grown man driving a little kid's battery-operated Jeep. It was dark out, and the cop said, more or less the cop said, I might have given this douche a break, but it was just darker than dark, and the guy's got no reflectors, a flashlight, nothing. He almost got run over like me in the drive. The trooper put old Meth Rocks McKee through a few of those field sobriety tests, and the guy sucked at each and every one of them. The cops took the numbskull to the local hospital, where it was determined that he was all sideways on not only meth rocks, but also those marijuana cigarettes. So now, stupid ass is up against a felony charge for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Yeah, fine, bust the guy for meth rocks and grass. But is it really necessary to give him a damn OWI?
Yeah, I'm not going to judge the cops, but it does seem a little ridiculous.
I mean, maybe the guy was a dick.
Oh, I bet
My guess is he was a dick.
Yeah,
and he
that's
probably talked. It's like you watch Cops or something like that, and you see people talk themselves into a ticket.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably what it is. It just wasn't added into the story. But so yeah.
I would think that's the case.
He's spinning around town on the Power Wheel, and he's cooked on street drugs. Even little kids know better than that. Kid in my neighborhood drives around one of those Power Wheel Jeep type of setups. One day I said to the kid, it was a nice day, so I said, hey, are you going to go for a drive today? And I pointed to his little Jeep, and the kid said, no way, dude, I'm high.
No.
Even kids know better. This one here is roughly the same kind of silliness, really. cops in Oregon pulled over a car full of derelicts, a stolen car. And the cops found a bag in the car. And the bag had a message printed on it. The bag read, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs."
Well, there you go.
But what do you think was inside that there bag?
Well, definitely not drugs,
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
it said right there.
Could have been anything.
It was full of drugs.
Son of a bitch.
Bamboozled.
They fool the cops.
Been foiled again.
I guess there were only two peoples in the motor vehicle, so the cops arrested the two peoples. They were a couple of lowlifes in their 30s. Oh, what's it say here now, Cubby? They had the aforementioned bag full of drugs. They had meth rocks, a meth rock pipe, something called oxy, a loaded gun, drug scales, a pile of cash money. And, of course, remember, they were driving a stolen car. So these were some full-on pros here who really know how to keep themselves undercover.
Yeah, they got to figure it out.
Yeah. It must be trendy for the drug people to use the cute bag with the fun slogan on it. We've told past stories on this here radio show. Maybe you just remember it. We've told past stories on this radio show about folks getting busted with hard drugs. One incident, the drugs were in a bag labeled "bag of drugs." And another time, a different individual had a bag labeled "bag full of drugs." This one, again, to go back to the start, this time, the hard street drugs were in a bag that read, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." So someone's selling these on their website, and the drug folks think it's cute.
Yeah, you can even buy shirts that says "Definitely not on drugs."
I kind of want one of those bags. I don't know what I put in it, though. I mean, obviously you could put drugs in there,
Yeah.
we've learned, but I don't have any of those.
I'll get you some drugs, Josh.
Maybe some colored pencils?
Put Tylenol in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. They keep sucking on that meth pipe, don't they, Cubby?
Seems like it makes for bad choices.
That's what it seems to me as well. I think you're right.
Not to belittle it, but we did have a listener tell us that she's a daily user and she's able to maintain a life, which you don't hear too often.
Who is this now?
Remember, we had a text. It was for a Dr. P segment, and she had mentioned that she was a daily user of meth and was trying to figure out how to get off of it.
Oh, yeah?
You don't remember that text?
No.
Oh, wow.
I do.
Yeah,
I
that
do.
was
Yeah.
like
You
not
read
too
it.
long ago.
I read it.
Yeah, it was like
Jesus criminy.
2 to 4 weeks ago,
Yeah,
something like
something-
that.
yep,
Well, I'm on a lot of meds.
that's true.
I take a lot of pills.
If this happened in 1987, you would have remembered it like it was yesterday.
You're right. He's right. I remember things more clearly from 35 years ago than I do 6 months ago. But I take a lot of pills. I know what you're going to say. Again with the monkeys. What, have they turned violent again? What, do they want to start a war? Maybe is what you're asking. No, this time it's more old school monkey behavior. We're talking about a drunk monkey.
It's pretty funny.
And you've likely seen something or another like this here before. A video cut loose from over there in Brazil where a couple of little peckerhead monkeys snatched a beer bottle out of a garbage can at a park or something. Lucky for them, there was quite a bit of beer left in the bottle, and one of the monkeys chugs it down. And he looked just like a little human, and it was damned adorable.
It was cute.
It was.
He's just trying to take the edge off.
It says here, Josh, am I saying this right? This was the brand of monkey that was drinking that beer. It was a capuchin monkey?
Capuchin.
Yeah.
Capuchin? And it was just cute. That's just all there is to it. Environmental dorks there in Brazil agree that it's cute as hell when a monkey binge drinks, but they also had to be flatliners about it and go on and on about how drinking beer is bad for monkeys. Which we know that drinking beer is bad for monkeys.
It was kind of, I mean, I'm assuming you watched the video and, he's stumbling a little bit, one of them, the one that's really hogging that beer. And he almost drops the bottle once, and he looks like he's laughing, like he's just having a really good time.
It's a lot of laughs when you got a cold one in front of you, or at least it can bring about some laughs. Like I said, I'd be kind of concerned about a man or a monkey who all they have to have is a bottle of beer in front of them, and they're laughing hysterically. But it can bring about some good times.
You guys drink? Is there a monkey-themed beer in some way, like
I stick to the
Stella
classics.
Macaw or something, cute like that?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's
Because
something.
so many of those breweries. Thought maybe you'd know something.
Good question. I stick to the basics. But now that you brought it up, I've seen quite a few beers with a dog theme over the years.
Oh, yeah, plenty of
Yeah,
times.
I was going to say there has to be a craft beer labeled like something like
There's
that.
I
a
would think
monkey
so.
knot
for-
IPA.
I'm sorry?
There's something called a monkey knot IPA.
K-N-O-T or N-O-T?
So it's monkey spelled completely normal, but then it adds N-A-U-T at the end.
Oh, like
Suppose you
not.
could-
Oh, like
Yeah.
astronaut.
Oh.
Yes.
Does he wear a little astronaut helmet or anything?
Yes.
That's cute.
Well,
Yeah,
there
there's
you
one
go.
called the Golden Monkey by Victory Brewing.
Yeah, look at that. 9.5 APV. That'll get you going.
Oh, man.
That'll get the party
That'll
started.
turn you into a
Really need one of those.
Yeah,
I'm going to the ball game, and I can only afford one beer.
that's the one you want.
Which one should I bring?
Yep.
How about the one with 9.5 skis? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's one called Sour Monkey.
Oh, God. Who brought up craft beer? Wapple?
Yep.
Oh, at this point, they've covered everything.
Yeah.
Every animal in the animal kingdom, every color, every damn thing. But I remember a lot of dog beers. Red dog, fat dog, big dog.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, cats too. A friend of mine got real effed up on some cat.
Really?
It was, whatever. It was Orange Cat or something, and then I think they only came up with the name because they could put a cute cartoon of an orange cat on the can. Oh man, a buddy of mine got a terrible headache on that. That was 25 years ago. So anyway, as far as monkeys drinking our beer. The word is the more they drink our beer and eat our food, the more common it is for monkeys to try and kick our asses because suddenly they look at us as competition, and that's where the trouble starts.
Steal
And then
our wives, everything.
then we got to beat their ass. See what I'm saying? So that's why the environmentalists are saying keep your Steve Weisers away from the capuchin monkeys because then eventually they're going to try to fight us, and they're very good. I've seen it in person. I saw a monkey once. This was in out west. I think this was Annandale. I saw a monkey pull an artery out of an old man's neck at a bus stop, and the sumbitch just bled out right there.
I'll bet.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was because that old man had allowed that monkey to eat and drink his food. Ask the people in Annandale.
I will.
The carcass is still there. They left the body there as a lesson. a lesson to the rest of the.
Don't feed the monkeys.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could beat up a monkey. Just a regular monkey.
Dude, I doubt it.
Not an ape or an orangutan or anything like that. Just
Like one of those small
like
red
a
button
howler
ones?
monkey or a
Well, the one in the
capuchin.
video is a capuchin monkey.
Yeah, look. Looking
looks
at it, I
like-
think I could take him.
Would you be able to punch a monkey?
Hell yes, you could take him. He only comes up to your hip, if that.
If this was the one from Annandale that's ripping arteries out of old timers, hell yeah, I could.
I don't know, man. I bet they got quick hands.
They're quick, but once you get a hold of them, you just squeeze the life out of them. I saw that. That was further out west. That was like in Wilmer or something. I saw a guy. He just squeezed the life out of a monkey. Bus stop. Same scene as it was in It was at a bus stop.
Now, don't get me wrong, Ashley, I'd cry. I would definitely be crying because it'd be so cute.
Yeah.
But if I had to, if it's me or him,
It'd be like that. He'd get a couple cracks in on you because he's quick. But once you get a hold of him, hell yeah, you could take a monkey.
I don't want to get overconfident, but I'm, looking at these drunk monkeys. I think I could take one at a time.
Oh, Christ, here's yes, you could. Heather the Tricycle Jesus texting in. He thinks he remembers the name of that cat-related beer that twisted up my pal 25 years ago. I think you're right. Fat Cat's Lager. Yes, it was an orange can. Oh, and Heather the Tricycle says it brought about a terrible headache. That's the same experience Sorry, I blew up. What time is it?
People are saying you're lying about that monkey story you told. This person says...
The one from Wilmer or Annandale?
Annandale.
Yeah.
Nick is a liar. I'm from Annandale. We don't even have a bus stop.
Yeah, I think it was Fat Cat's Lager, and I'm not trying to disregard their beer. It might be delicious, but my pal 25 years ago, he just blasted through a 12-pack, and he was in. The next day, he had a headache. Probably would have happened to him no matter what he was drinking because he was going so fast.
So those high alcohol concentrated beers.
Yes.
When you guys are trying a new beer, do you ever look at that?
Yes.
Yes.
You do?
Every single time.
Okay.
I'll answer that, Josh. I'll answer that question when I try a new beer.
Yeah.
Since I don't really do a lot of that.
I never would think of something like that.
The only time that ever happens is if I somehow get talked into going to a brewery, and I don't drink beer like that. So I usually just look at the menu and I'm like, all right, what has the highest ABV? Okay, yep.
All right, bang for my buck.
Yep.
Much like a lot of things in my life, Josh, where I'm still stuck in the 1980s, if this radio program hadn't gotten its own beer, I probably still would not have tried a new beer since high school. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'll eat anything, but I pretty much eat the exact same things every day. You guys were giving me crap about that yesterday. So, yeah, I don't really make a lot of changes either.
You do. I mean, I stick to my core favorites as far as food, but you'll eat the same damn thing every day, day after day, month after month, and year after year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a man of habit.
Is this
That's for sure.
Is this because of your constipation problems?
No, but maybe it's... Dude, maybe that's
causing it.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Do you want to get into specifics here? I mean, you eat some form of enchilada every day.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you don't get tired of that?
No.
I was just going to say, how much cheese is in that enchilada?
Not too much.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to get a tummy ache, Wapple.
Well, yeah, that could be why you're getting
A
constipated.
little bound.
Yep.
Barely any.
All right. One of the big effing problems that we have to... One of the big problems that we have to deal with these days is that everyone thinks they're so special, don't they? You know this. Or at least some of you do. The rest of you are probably part of the problem. People think what they do and what they say is so special and important and different and deserves to be appreciated. And all along, they're nothing but ordinary. Many of them are even less than ordinary. Complete delusion is what it is. Narcissism. Here's one of those. A gal tried to sue her former employers for sexual harassment. And part of the reason she did that is because the company didn't give her a farewell card when she lost her job.
I never even would consider that was a possibility.
Yeah.
No.
I've said before, I'm for sure suing whether I leave on my own accord or I'm fired. Why not?
Why not? Everyone else does it.
If you're okay just not being a good person, and obviously it's different if you have grounds and there's some terrible things going on, but we've learned, like, you could sue. It doesn't even matter if it's true or not. If everybody in the situation knows this is complete BS, it's a cash grab
Might
for
as well
some
try.
people.
People are so special and different and deserve to be appreciated, and there's no truth to any of it. From what the story tells me, this gal complained constantly.
Would you guys be waiting by your mailbox going, any second now they're going to send me a farewell card?
Absolutely
Well,
not.
first off, when I read this story, and of course, when I read this story the first time, I said, people get a farewell card when they're fired? I had never heard of that before.
Even if I quit, I wouldn't expect a card.
No, not at all. Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't even expect a phone call.
Yeah.
So,
I would expect a thank you if I quit. Oh, thank you.
You took that one off our plate. Thank you.
Finally.
this gal complained constantly about how she wasn't appreciated enough and this and that. So I think we all know why she didn't get a farewell card, because nobody at the company could stand her anymore. Forget saying farewell, just get out. Cubby, do you remember there was an individual who was let go from the radio station a number of years ago for good reason? They were just impossible to deal with, absolutely delusional and narcissistic, like I was describing earlier. Someone ran into this person after they were gassed, and the fired individual said that they weren't so upset about being fired. They were more upset that nobody from the building, no coworkers, called them to say good luck or goodbye or sorry you got fired. Well, what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah,
but their bloated image of how wonderful and important they are would never allow them to see how wildly unpopular they were in the building.
Yeah, it means no one likes you, dude.
That's one of the only people in this. Well, it's a part of it for others, but that was the sole reason this individual was let go, because nobody could work with them anymore.
Right.
It was
because
just
of
too much.
Because why?
Making people
delusion,
cry.
Their delusion and their narcissism.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but it would never dawn on them. They thought it was like laziness. Well, no one bothered to call. Get a friggin' clue. You can't figure out, but they're wired in such a way where there's no way it would ever dawn on them, that the reason nobody called is because no one cares that you're gone. Nobody liked you. It's a fascinating thing.
There was people that quit because of that individual.
Yes. Oh. So back to this here gal. She was fired, and now she's trying to sue the company for sexual harassment because she didn't get a damn farewell card. She took the company to court. Just a ridiculous waste of time and money. In court, the company said, and this must have been a lot of fun for the company when they got to dump this information on the lady right in her face. The company said the card had been bought, but it was only signed by 3 people in the entire company, so her colleagues thought it would be insulting to give it to her. That's probably
considerate. I don't you think?
Yeah,
it is.
That still probably didn't wake this lady up to reality. So
Yeah, it's
after
like, we're not trying to hurt your feelings even more now.
Yeah.
After hearing all the nonsense this gal could muster in court, the judge ruled that she had a, quote, conspiracy theory mentality in which she mistook normal workplace interactions for something more sinister. Again, she complained relentlessly. She was always treated unfairly. One time she bitched that she wasn't included in a work text chat. She called that sexual harassment.
Dude, nobody liked her.
Dana, you should tell the story. You told us off air once about someone you worked with, who actually we used to work with too. And I warned one of your I didn't know you yet, one of your coworkers, like, yeah, this person's, at least back when we worked with them, they were difficult to work with, right? Very easily set off, very, very arrogant. And you had an interesting story about an email with this person?
Yeah, so I was a producer of an old radio show back in probably about 10 years ago, and this guy thought he was the main person on the show. And so when I would send an email to the 3 hosts of the show, he wanted his name to be first in the subject line. Like, when I type in, Nick, Josh, yeah. He wanted his name to be first, and he got upset with me one time when I put another host of the show's name first in the email subject line.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Is that crazy? I don't know if I've ever looked to see
Never
where I
heard
was
about
in
that.
order.
No.
No.
People convince themselves, or it's just bad wiring from the get-go,
Yeah. It's gotta be.
that they are so special, and everyone else should recognize it, and if you don't, they can't understand it. All right, so...
And obviously, there's reason people should sue. Some people were in some terrible situations, were treated very poorly, but we're specifically talking about the folks that it's just a cash grab, and everyone knows it.
Of course.
Their lawyer knows it, everybody.
Now, by the way, again, back to this, one of the reasons this lady sued for sexual harassment is that she didn't get a farewell card when she was fired. Also in court, it was brought about that there were 2 other male workers in the past who didn't receive a farewell card when they were let go. So that squashed her sexual harassment claim right there. So the court ruled that pretty much all of the things that this lady whined about either never happened at all, she lied a lot, or were ruled, quote, innocuous interactions in the normal course of employment. But when you're wired like this here lady, the simplest thing is taken as a grand showing of disrespect. Everyone in our listening audience knows someone like this. And the sad fact is that it is almost impossible to have folks like this look in the mirror and admit that they've got it all wrong. It'll never happen. They're incapable of that.
That's too bad. It's frustrating, too, if you're trying to befriend a person like that or make them feel like, well, no, that's not necessarily the case. I mean, just to try and make them feel better. Like, nobody got this card or that card, or everybody does this, or we all go through this, and it just doesn't register. And they think that they're individually being targeted, and that's not the case.
Yep. I'll say it again. It's delusion and narcissism. And I've become much more aware of those traits over the last number of years in my professional and personal life. And it really is fascinating and frightening. It really is frightening how, well, we pretty much said it all. We did. It's a hell of a deal. It's something to see.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, I had a little run-in with my cattle over the weekend. I guess they've been watching us play. We got headbutted, so I've got a bad eye that I didn't think would be particularly enjoyable for people when they were looking at my pretty face.
Sounds like in excess. It's not.
Can't do that.
Nope.
No. Wacky Oklahoma State football coach Mike Gundy. Gundy got headbutted by a cow, and it effed him up good. He was supposed to meet with the media in person yesterday morning to talk about Oklahoma State's football club, but he couldn't make her. Word got out that over the weekend, one of the cows on his ranch hit Gundy square with an Arn Anderson quality headbutt, and he was still feeling a little dizzy on Monday. You heard him say there in the audio that the eye almost fell out.
That's embarrassing.
From that headbutt from a cow. So he made the press conference one of those Zoom meetings instead, Josh. It was a Zoom meeting.
He was being considerate of those that had to look at his face. Although you think it'd be worse, right? Having the Zoom camera right in your face.
Guess I didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. I remember when we first started to have Zoom meetings around here when COVID hit down.
Oh, I hated those.
Those were awkward.
Yeah. Josh did not like that setup.
No.
Josh didn't like the damn Zoom meeting setup. I remember the two of us once were the first two to show up for the Zoom meeting, and you didn't even like me looking at you.
Yeah, I don't like being on camera. And then if somebody turned their camera off, there's a few people that did. They'd say, so-and-so, your camera's off. Let's turn that camera on.
Folks are calling last night's Monday Night Football game between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets one of the worst ever. They say the referees ruined it.
That was crazy.
It was a ref show.
And even Joe Buck at one time made a joke about one of the refs needing a SAG card for how much he was on TV last night.
Well, it was a disgusting matchup from the get-go, right? The gas bag against the Bills. I mean, come on. I know, Dana, that's your new favorite football team, the Buffalo Bills, but I'm as burned out on them as I am the Kansas City Chiefs. Enough with the Josh Allen, enough with the Bills Mafia, enough with the blah blah.
They are in primetime way too much.
Pigs Blues tonight in St. Louis, 6:30 on ESPN. Baseball playoffs last night. The Metropolitans won. The Yankees won. ALCS Game 2 is tonight, and we can jaw jack up and down about all this stuff in about a half hour when Randy Shaver shows up, and so will entertainer C. Willi Myles. For now, take a little break. Josh's news is coming up next.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, the Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I thought I can just keep spending money, however, do this back of the envelope math if I just cover it by making more money. The three words that make me groan the loudest that broke people say is, I deserve it. I was saying it all the time. Well, I deserve a night out. I don't have any money, but I'll take my last dollars and do a night at a restaurant.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Laugh now. I am the president of this whole goddamn country. Watch. That's a damn bona fide word. What comes around goes around. This time now. Keep laughing. Watch what happens. You'll be expired just like your battery on your watch.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a cool line at the end there.
A lot of us have bad days, but not all of us take it out on a plane full of people. A 40-year-old passenger on a Frontier Airlines flight did, though. She demanded the aircraft return to the gate at San Diego International, shouting she was the president of the United States and a sovereign ruler. The woman, captured in a TikTok video while on board a flight from San Diego to Las Vegas, appeared to be still on the ground at the airport. She raised her voice at a flight attendant and other passengers, screaming about forgetting her phone in the gate area, and blamed the airline. She also claimed Frontier Airlines had been involved in illegal activities during previous flights she had taken, but she didn't expand on that.
No.
Flight attendant tried to explain something to the woman, but she replied, "That's a lie from the pit of hell." She asked for the attendant's name and then declared to the cabin she was very powerful and has some pretty impressive property ownership.
I am an affirmed sovereign ruler here in the government. 7 continents I own.
7 continents I own, she said.
Wow.
And
That's a lot of money.
And Metallica's played them all. In fact, they're the only band to do so. The band set the Guinness World Record for their performance in Antarctica, December 8th, 2013. Back to the plane lady, it's unclear why she made those claims.
This would be so entertaining to see in person.
That is true.
That would be incredible.
She owns 7 continents.
Wow.
That's 7 more than I own.
That is so much money she's got.
7. She owns them all.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They ended up.
they had to land the plane.
Putting her in cuffs, and they had to land the airplane.
That part sucks. I wouldn't want to be there for that, but.
It'd be worth it.
You think?
She can just go home to any place in the world, Ashley. Sometimes even the best in the world make mistakes. And sometimes those mistakes lead to a frogman's foot in your face at about 20 miles per hour. A 39-year-old Navy parachutist had a less than graceful landing, crashing into a mother and her teenage kid at the San Francisco Fleet Week event. I'd love to go to that. The incident was caught on camera Sunday, not for the hit in the face, but just in general. It was caught on camera Sunday, showing the Navy leapfrog's parachutist falling through the air before tumbling into the middle of the crowd just moments after another jumper nailed a perfect landing.
Open! Okay! Oh, no! Outside! Oh, strokes. I don't think it's okay.
Again, worth it.
Photos show the woman being taken by a stretcher to the hospital for a checkup. The teen was evaluated at the scene. Luckily, both only had minor injuries, and the Navy parachutist walked away uninjured. But very embarrassed, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Again, in a way, it's like even the best in the world can mess up. If you're thinking, I really screwed that one.
Yeah, it should be something that everyone pays attention to and understands that nobody's perfect. Nobody bats 1,000, Josh. How many times have I said that in the building over the years?
A lot.
Nobody bats 1,000.
And, it's one of those things, too, where everyone knows it could have been anybody that made that mistake, and that person, he's never going to hear from his colleagues again on the topic. They will never once bring it up or give him a nickname.
Of course not.
San Francisco
Crowd pleaser. What do you think? Crowd pleaser?
That's not bad, yeah.
We'll get there.
San Francisco Fleet Week celebrates the armed forces with air shows for enthusiastic crowds, though the crowd in that case was understandably less enthusiastic about that particular landing. A silent predator is still at large, lurking unchecked, claiming the lives of young people chasing the fleeting promise of online fame, and no one seems willing or able to stop it. Social media has killed again, this time in Spain. A 26-year-old Briton died after falling from Spain's tallest bridge while trying to create content for social media. He fell early Sunday morning in an attempt to make social media content, which sadly ended in tragedy. Standing nearly 630 feet high, the bridge, with its 152 wire ropes and stunning views of the countryside, has been a popular spot for thrill seekers and social media creators, even though climbing there is banned. We've said many times it's not allowed no matter what, a local official said. It had been raining heavily before the accident, which may have made that bridge slippery. Content creators and influencers often take personal risks and break laws to capture the perfect photos or videos they believe will gain them more followers. In another bridge fall, a 17-year-old boy in California fell to his death from a bridge in L.A. during a social media stunt in May last year. And this past July, an Indian travel vlogger died after slipping and falling into a 300-foot gorge near Mumbai while shooting Instagram videos.
But this latest character fell hundreds of stories down off of a bridge?
Only 630 feet.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's easy.
That's survivable.
Yeah.
How
just missed, I'd imagine, at the bottom of that thing.
Just silly. Silly and unnecessary.
Sometimes old habits die hard, especially if you're 90% dumbass, like this clueless crook in Colorado. On Thursday, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office shared a unique story about a thief who hasn't learned his lesson despite several convictions. The 34-year-old with 3 prior stolen car convictions casually walked into the courthouse to meet with his probation officer for his latest guilty plea for motor vehicle theft. But when cops checked the security camera in the parking lot, they noticed something was off. The man had driven to his probation hearing in another stolen car. Deputies met him as he got off an elevator and placed him in handcuffs. He initially denied any wrongdoing, but eventually admitted he borrowed the car from a friend who he couldn't name. One deputy caught on body camera footage told him, "You shouldn't trust your friends anymore if that's the case." The sheriff's office there finished off their post by saying he may have arrived in a stolen car, but he left in one of ours.
Yeah. That's not the brightest damn thing I've heard all day, I'll guarantee you that.
Police in Wisconsin arrested a 40-year-old man pretending to be an FBI agent and recovered $32,000 after helping with a missing persons case from Minnesota. Police were called Thursday to assist with the missing person, who was eventually found at a hotel in Eau Claire. The person told police they traveled to Wisconsin to meet someone they thought was an FBI agent, bringing $32,000 with them. After realizing they'd been scammed, they reported it. While police were talking to hotel staff, they happened to spot the suspect walking into the lobby and arrested the bastard. Police managed to recover all $32,000 for that victim. Also last week, another fraud case popped up. This time, the victim was told they needed to pay $29,500 because they were involved in a scam. It started with an email about renewing an antivirus program, followed by calls from someone pretending to be from the Better Business Bureau and later the FBI. The victim withdrew the money and handed it over to a courier, quote-unquote, who came to their apartment. When told the payment had failed, they withdrew another $29,500 and gave it to someone else. A local bank tipped off police about the scam, but it's unclear if that money had been recovered. Police haven't said whether the suspect is connected to the second scam or how many people may be involved.
So much money.
A wanted 36-year-old man in the UK was found hiding in a place he thought police would never look, the bottom of a couch, while dressed in a way cops never wanted to see, just his underwear. Police arrived at a home to arrest him, but initially thought the property was empty except for a friendly dog. However, during their search Friday, officers uncovered him hiding in the base of a large sofa.
Right, upend it your way. Or do you want to go this way? Oh, look who's hiding in the sofa. Out you come.
You know, it'd be hard to be intimidated by some of those British cops. I gotta be honest.
It's adorable. This video's up on 93x.com.
A spokesperson said, "We've seen some things in our time, but this is a first. He'll be spending the next few hours in a custody cell, much less of a squeeze," he said. And while one man used furniture as an unlikely hiding place, another tragic incident across town turned an ordinary piece of furniture into a deadly trap, resulting in a much darker outcome. A 39-year-old mother of 2 was killed in a freak mishap when a folding ottoman bed clamped down on her. Ottoman beds have mattresses which can be raised by gas lift hydraulics and are popular because of storage space under the platform. But it apparently malfunctioned in her case and slammed down unexpectedly.
Oh, ouch.
Cubby, how long you think you would last living inside your couch. Would you say that there'd probably be plenty to eat?
There's a lot of like crumbs that I could probably go through.
Some old Funyuns and sour cream and onion.
Just like the corner of candy bar wrappers, if I was just going to eat a lot of those. Dog hair, tons of that.
You'd stay warm with the dog hair.
Probably some box elder bug carcasses.
Oh. They'll keep you company.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
You could. I think you could hold out for a week or so, living inside your own couch.
Probably, yeah. A 47-year-old Florida man fondled a female fright performer at a local haunted house. First responders spoke with a victim who said she was finishing her shift when the final patron approached.
Like a boob grab?
Yeah, no, it was like an inner thigh type thing.
Oh, gross.
The victim, seated in a chair with another scare actor standing behind her, said the man crouched down, caressed her inner thigh, and then grabbed her arm, gazing at her, quote, in a bizarre manner for an uncomfortable amount of time. Another employee verified the victim's version of the story, telling officers the man groped her for 5 seconds before gawking at her for 30. 30 seconds he stared at her.
That's too long.
The witness recalled how when the man noticed the other person standing behind the victim, he became visibly flustered, tried to play it off like nothing happened, and then fled the scene. The man denied the accusations, insisting he was just simply looking for his son.
Oh, we had a kid there?
Well, they don't know. That's the thing. They're like, well, where's this son?
Where's Dad at? Oh, he's talking to the cops. He fondled a character here at the. Should grown folks not be allowed at the haunted house?
Maybe they need youth supervision just to behave.
Honestly.
A baby born in the parking lot of his parents' favorite microbrewery in Michigan was named after the business.
Oh, no.
Which then created a special brew to honor the newborn, who, if born in Wisconsin, was already old enough to drink. A couple were on their way to the hospital on the baby's due date when they realized they wouldn't make it in time. They called for an ambulance and pulled over into the parking lot at One Well Brewing, their favorite microbrewery, and baby Forrest Wells was born moments later.
Oh, that's cute.
We've been joking Forrest just wanted to swing by for a quick beer on the way to the hospital, just like Dad would, his father said. One Well Brewing celebrated Forrest Wells' arrival by creating a blood orange blonde ale, which his parents helped mix at the brewery. The beer, aptly named Placenta Splash Pilsner, is set to be tapped later this month. A special delivery is what it's called.
It doesn't have to be cold.
One Well's owner joked, "The One Well promise. Have a baby in the parking lot, the baby drinks free for life."
Well, I guess there are worse company parking lots that they could have named the kid after, right?
Yeah. Very true. In a scenario even sugar beet farmer Dwight Schrute from The Office would find statistically improbable, 2 sugar beet trucks rolled over in separate accidents in central Minnesota, an event rare enough with one truck, let alone 2 within the same state and same hour. One rollover happened Saturday just after 11 a.m. in Lake Lillian Township. The other crash occurred 30 minutes later in Edwards Township. Thankfully, the sheriff's office said the injuries weren't life-threatening. The sheriff's office is reminding drivers to stay alert due to increased traffic during the fall harvest season.
2 sugar beet trucks
within a half hour.
Crashed within a... I used to drink with an old-timer at my neighborhood bar. He'd bore the balls off you with conversation about sugar beets.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. He liked it.
Was he a farmer?
No, but his brother-in-law was. Oh, for Christ's sake, we heard more about sugar beets than you ever wanted to. And he just would sit there all day with the stories of the sugar beets. You should have seen the bartenders would just give up after a while.
Any interesting factoids?
No.
Oh, really? Not one?
No.
A 43-year-old Minnesota teacher won the World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off in California for the second year in a row, with a pumpkin named Rudy taking home the grand prize. Rudy weighed in at 2,471 pounds at the World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off in Half Moon Bay, California yesterday.
Here you go. 2,471. Current leader by 6 pounds. Travis Ginger from Minnesota.
In June, the grower didn't think they'd make it to the championships, which is why they named the pumpkin Rudy, because it's a comeback story. Rudy wasn't a world record pumpkin, though. The same Minnesota man dunked on the competition last year by setting a world record. With a 2,749-pounder he named Michael Jordan. In 2022, he produced Maverick the pumpkin, which weighed 2,560 pounds and was carved into the world's largest jack-o'-lantern, displayed outside Anoka City Hall. And in a record that seems a lot easier to beat, a Guinness World Record was set in Japan yesterday when 507 people pointed to the sky simultaneously for 30 seconds.
Oh, that's good for them.
What?
They'll always have that memory.
What?
That's a Guinness World Record.
Wow.
So say that again.
507 people, just pulled out their index fingers, pointed the sky, held it for 30 seconds, and they set a record.
You see what I'm talking about?
That's dumb.
The friggin' Guinness Book of World Records is just a goat rodeo now.
That's not what
Would
it
you
was when
want
we
your
were
name
kids.
on that list, Josh? Would you want to be included in that group of people who set the record for pointing at the sky for the longest, or whatever, the largest group of...
No, but just to troll them, I kind of want to do the same with the same amount of people, but 31 seconds. Just play Price is Right rules here.
Wow, we are starved for attention. It gets more and more obvious every day.
Yeah, the Guinness adjudicator had to show up for this, and they're putting it in the book, Nick.
That's just disappointing.
On CBS, the FBI's return tonight with new seasons. Starting at 7, the premiere of FBI, followed by FBI International, followed by FBI Most Wanted, followed by the husband-wife team of Amelia Santinello and Frank Vassalero, married in Florence, Italy in 1999, if you didn't know. They were the first Minnesota broadcast team, husband and wife. Happy belated 17th to Sky from Mom, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver
is a big humper, literally humping everyone. He is social, but he's more concerned about humping everybody.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Snake! It's a real one, too, not a prank. We've had snakes on a plane, snakes on a train, and the latest Hollywood hit, snake in the dugout.
Hey, Ass Man.
Yes, sir.
Guess who stopped by to Jaw Jack with you today? It's C Willi Myles.
Ah, C Willi.
Randy, man, what's up, brother?
Just the same old thing every day, Willie. Same old thing.
You sound exhausted.
I partially feel that, brother.
Yeah, every day. Same old thing.
C Willi Myles says he just got, he's fresh off of vacation.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go?
Oh, vacation from what?
Hater.
Writing and performing world-class entertainment.
Selling out venues, all that.
7 continents.
Yeah. Where'd you go, C Willi Myles?
I was down in Turks and Caicos.
I don't even understand what that is.
That's bless you. It's an island, man.
Say it again.
Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos.
Sounds like a restaurant.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful white sandy beach island.
Wow, I've never even heard of it. But then again,
really?
I'm not exactly a geography major, but
it's cool.
What kind of plane rides are we looking at when you go to Turks and Caicos?
It's really not that far. As my sister would say, turkey and coconuts. Is that where you were? Yeah, I was down in. It's not bad. You go to Atlanta, and then it's an hour 45 to Atlanta, and then another 2:45 to the island.
It's down that away.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not
sandy beaches and
it is absolutely gorgeous.
100-degree weather.
It was about that. Yeah, it's like their temperature doesn't change. It's like 80, 86 every day, and the low is like 80.
Randy Shaver, you ever been there?
I have not. No.
Heard of it. See Willie, nude beaches?
Not where I was at.
No.
I'm not saying I didn't look for them.
Yeah.
Everywhere Wapple goes is a nude beach.
Hey. But anytime you go down to it's almost nude.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the swimwear is. You gotta wear reflective sunglasses.
Nobody knows where you're looking.
You're gonna get caught.
See,
Nick and I, we've been a couple places together for work where there was people would come from worldwide, and you could tell what part of the world they're from based on what they're wearing at the beach.
Absolutely.
Based on their swimwear.
Absolutely.
We're more conservative here in the States than they appear to be anywhere in Europe. That's for sure.
Just to be clear, there was a guy that walked literally in front of me. And when I say string thong,
yeah,
I'm talking thread string.
He had the thong bottoms.
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Ass cheeks knocking around.
I'm like, and he wasn't the guy He's not that guy.
He shouldn't have.
Like there's other guys that could make it work.
Right. You ain't him. I'm not. I don't know who told you was he.
He wasn't built for that.
You're not Neo, man. You're done.
They don't seem to care is something that I noticed. Again, Josh mentioned that he and I have been at some of these wacky beaches where nobody's wearing any clothes. They don't seem to care. They're not body conscious at all. It's just they let it all hang out, skis, and they don't care what you think.
I mean,
dong swinging, ass cheeks knocking.
Man, I'm telling you, it's
boobs hanging.
I was traumatized just a little bit.
You can balance that out because we got a text earlier this morning from a member of the Sisterhood. You might appreciate this. She said she's going to join us in Wisconsin. We're doing a live broadcast from Turtle Lake Casino Friday morning.
All right.
And the hot tubs are open, and she said she's got quite the bikini she's bringing, and she mentioned G-string. So if you want to balance that out, join us Friday morning.
Was she inviting us to stop by her hot tub?
I guess. I don't know. She mentioned you got to check this thing out.
Last year, Cubby and I had a hot tub potluck at the hotel. And nobody showed up.
There's just the two of us and a whole lot of chili.
We had chili, we had meatballs, we had chips and cheese, and nobody showed up for
sausages,
I'm sorry,
nothing.
guys.
Hot tub potluck party. Well, more to eat for me and Cubby.
Hey, when I was in college, we had a hot tub brunch.
Talk to me about hot tub.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Oh, yeah, man. You would just bring food. We had all these trays outside. When you were in college, and we had this house called, it was a beautiful house. And
I'm sure it was.
There's a hot tub in the back. And we would have these trays built on a friend who's a woodworking guy. He built these trays on. So we were just sitting, we get food.
Sit in the hot tub?
Yeah, invite girls over. And
these nicely set up trays to where the food
was. So it was like, it was called, hot tub brunch.
But when someone spilled ranch dressing into the hot tub, did you get out or did you just you must have spilled some food in the hot tub, and I bet that got funky.
Yeah, well, you didn't, you don't, that's not important. Why would you bring that up?
Not at the time.
I'd be kind of grossed out if some pastrami or something fell into the hot tub. I don't know.
I've always wondered for people that own hot tubs how often they use them, because I know during the pandemic they were huge.
Right.
A friend of mine, he's an electrician. He's like, you wouldn't believe how many hot tubs we put in over the pandemic. And I wonder, is that something where all of a sudden things are back to normal and nobody sits in those? Or are they used a lot?
I have two friends who own hot tubs, and they seem to, three friends actually, and they seem to love it, and they use it all year round. And
they do, okay. Because I always thought it was a way to pick up significant others, and then if you're hooked up, it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, Josh, I have a friend whose theirs has been broken for months, and they don't seem too eager to fix it, or not in any hurry.
One of them I worry about. I worry about them being a hot tub owner because they're heavy drinkers.
Wow.
And I almost watched him drown in a hot tub a few years ago. So when he said he got himself a hot tub, I said, well, the clock is ticking. You can't get up to 0.31 and get into a hot tub and live for very long. But he's still going. But I was very concerned when he said, many years ago, we went over to someone else's friend's, someone's house. After bar type of thing. Everyone's had way too much to drink. And this guy, who's now a hot tub owner, he says, well, I'm getting into the hot tub. Okay, I said, someone better put a life jacket on this sumbitch. And nobody paid attention to me. I said, I don't like the idea of Donnie getting in that hot tub. He's heavy. He's been drinking all day. Sure as hell. I don't know, 20 minutes later, I was the only one that went outside to check on Donnie, and he's sinking in that damn hot tub. He's unconscious. He's sinking in the damn thing.
Oh, no.
It's right about at his nose. I had to pull him out of there like he was a baby seal or something like that.
A friend of mine's coworker, he got so frustrated. He and his wife, their marriage was ending. They were yelling at each other all the time. She loved this hot tub. He hated this hot tub. They lived out in the middle of nowhere. He said all it was just like a mouse resort, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so he took a chainsaw to it out of frustration.
Oh, wow.
That's
I wish I would have
dramatic.
seen that in person.
Jeez.
Chop that thing up.
Tough coming back after vacation, huh? C Willi Myles?
It is, man. It's hard when you don't want to watch. You don't know what time it is. You don't care. You're gone for 10, 12 days, and you don't even, you don't worry about anything. You just get up, you eat, you hang out by the beach and the pool,
And now the real world is smacking you right in the face.
Smacked me right back. I mean, flew back into this crap, man. I'm like, I almost had my furnace on. You know what I mean?
Turned ours on.
Oh, my heat's on, yeah.
It's getting chilly.
I'm one of those people. Once it's on, baby, it ain't going off. And I'm scared to turn it on now because I hear it's supposed to be nice on Thursday, but
I know what you mean. Randy Shaver, now that you're retired, have you and the old lady thought about some grand trip that you never had time for that you want to get? Well, what have you been talking about? Have you thought about Tots and Caicos? Or wherever the hell C Willi
a lot
was.
of tots down there.
Yeah.
We have not thought about that, but we actually are going to Snowbird this winter.
What is that? Really? The whole winter?
We're going to go for about 7 weeks.
Oh,
to
Florida.
Oh, God, why? Of all the places?
Hurricane season is over.
Yeah, hurricane season's over, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, we're going to give it a try. We've never done that before, so.
All right.
Wow.
All right, well, there you go. We're happy that C. Willi's decided to join us today. If you want to jaw jack a little bit about this and that's going on with. In our intro there, the Los Angeles Dodgers had a damn snake scoot through their dugout during Game 2 last night of the National League Championship Series. A snake came rambling through the dugout.
Where were they playing?
At home.
L.A.
Real.
Apparently the snake was hanging around the top step of the dugout like it was going to send some signs out to base runners or something. A staff member was able to grab the snake using a towel and carried it out of there and then gave it a good beating. Wow. But, none of the players seemed terribly afraid of it.
No, it kind of looked like a gardener snake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little baby guy. The video is up on 93x.com.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that.
Oh, really?
You don't
You're
like
not a
snakes,
snake
huh?
fan?
I do not.
Oh, I
There's
love
no-
snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the ultimate for you? Snakes, you backpedal like a bastard?
I do not. I'm not a. Well, I grew up down south, and we don't have like garter snake. We have poisonous.
yeah,
Poisonous. I lived in California for 7 years. I never saw a snake.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be around the poisonous ones. If I knew they were part of the territory, that would I would step lightly.
No, all our snakes were poisonous.
You never got bit?
No.
Never even close?
Never went anywhere near where a snake would possibly be.
I've heard some of those.
Right.
They trick you. They hide in your boot or something. They wait.
Oh my God! Where I grew up, you check your shoes before you put them on, my friend.
Really? So you
kick them.
did go through?
You kick them out in the middle of the floor.
Randy Shaver,
you
didn't like
a snake in there ready to attack.
I am not a snake. So I did this TV show. I was doing a show down in San Antonio, getting ready to go on. We were doing a tour, and you go do the morning TV shows, and they had the zoo guy there, and they were bringing out, and they said, "We'd like you to come out and do this." I was like, "So what are you having? If you have like pet monkeys and stuff like that, I'm good. But if you're gonna bring out a python, I'm out."
Yeah.
And the guy was sitting in the room. The guy next to me, on the right side of him, had a big python in a cage. I had no idea. I was sitting next to the
But wait a
thing.
minute, Ashley. You just said you love snakes.
I know. I'm saying, like, if you don't like them being that close to one when you're not prepared for it. I used to not like them, but then I got over my fear because one of my friends had a pet snake, and it was just like the cutest little one that you could just, I don't know, walk around the house with.
There's nothing cute about that.
Randy Shaver, you didn't react very well when C. Willi talked about snakes.
There is nothing cute about that. I'm sorry.
Zero.
Are you going to be checking your shoes now?
I'm not really worried about snakes, but I understand C. Willi's fear of that.
Oh, my God.
Not a fan.
Everyone's wetting their pants because Wapple said gardener snake.
I noticed that.
What's the proper term?
Garter snake.
Garter snake.
I've always said gardener too.
Close enough, for Christ's sake.
Snakes are a lot like they remind me a lot of like tarantulas in the way that like I used to be afraid of tarantulas, but once like I saw one up close, and saw their cute little face.
Oh no, they are.
You saw one up close.
Yeah.
What are you talking
They're
about?
super adorable.
They're not super adorable.
They are.
What do you? No.
Oh my gosh! You haven't look up the.
I have.
Tarantula face. They're cute.
No.
Randy Shaver, there's no talking her out of it. She likes dark things. That's her thing.
We had the bug
that's
people
cool
come
and
here.
all,
They were
but
nice.
I'm happy for you, but
She likes Halloween and spider webs and goth music and dark things, and that's her vibe. You're not going to talk her out of it. She likes spiders and snakes. Let her have it.
Yeah, I don't mind snakes, but tarantulas, I don't even want to be in the same zip code as one of those.
Well, let me tell you this. This is a
We used to
quick
find
story.
I
I don't want to shoot over you guys.
Well, first off, did I cut you off on the python? What happened with the python? Did it come and try to get you? You were talking about that.
They wanted me. They said, you just stand in the middle. I'm like, I'm not standing. I'm not even coming out there. I said, listen, this interview is over. And she's like, you don't have to come out. We'll do you right after. I say, fine, because I'm not touching a snake.
I wouldn't want to mess with one of those either.
It was big.
Yeah.
But when I was a freshman in college, I went and stayed with my friends down in Minnetonka.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an overnight stay. I'm sitting down. I get up in the morning. I'm sitting down on the couch. All of a sudden, Lisa, my friend's sister, come downstairs saying, hey, talking to Ryan, have you seen Bobo? And they're looking for Bobo. And he said, did he get out again? And I'm like, who? I thought they was looking for a puppy or a cat. I'm looking around.
Yeah, what the hell? Please tell me what Bobo is.
Is a boa constrictor.
No.
I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And he said, well, the last time he got out, it was cold down here. So I slept downstairs with a snake in a room next to me that had got out, a boa constrictor. I'm sitting on the couch, and they was looking everywhere. Do you know where this snake was? In the cushion of the couch I was sitting on.
No way.
He was laying all the way back. And I'm like, I got up, I walked out the back door, around the back of their house, up into to the driveway, and said, bring my stuff here.
Yeah.
I am leaving.
I'm not even packing my own bag. I'm out of here.
I don't even have a car, but I'm walking back to St. Cloud. That's where I'm going. Ryan, the kid that was on the football team, he's like, no, man, you don't have to come. I'm leaving, Ryan. Pack my stuff. Let's go.
At any minute, that snake could have.
Oh my God!
Was it there when you slept on the couch?
I didn't sleep on the couch. I was in a room.
Oh, you got up and sat on the couch.
Yeah, but they didn't tell me they have a room over there. That's
not cool.
You got to tell again.
They should have told you that.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
I'm like, Ryan, I can't never come to your. His mom was just livid at them.
Because the snake got out?
Yeah. And that they didn't tell me.
Yeah, they should have told you that.
And I'm like, you're the parent.
Yeah.
You tell me.
That's true. She could have stepped in.
Right. You're the innkeeper here. Ryan pays no mortgage.
Winners last night in the big league playoffs. The Metropolitans won a game here after being so overmatched in Game 1 against the Dodgers. In Game 1 of the NLCS, the Mets looked awful last night. They won the ball game, so now we got something cooking here.
Yeah, we do.
And the Yankees won Game 1, of course. ALCS Game 2 tonight. In that Guardians-Yankees game. Folks are calling this guy the real-life Wild Thing. Guardians rookie relief pitcher by the name of Joey Cantillo threw 4 wild pitches.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
He deals a 2-2 in the dirt, and it gets by Hedges. One of the Cleveland catchers have had a brutal time tonight. It is Wild Pitch City here in Game 1 of this ALCS. That is the 5th wild pitch in this game.
Cantillo threw 4 of them. A later reliever threw another, so that's some kind of a record, I guess. You could tell Cantillo was nervous as all hell. He was not ready for this.
Sure.
Cantillo walked 3 of the 4 batters he faced, threw only 7 strikes out of 21 pitches, and like I said, 4 of them were wild. What does everyone make of the Dodgers' dong bump celebration that a couple players busted out, a game or two ago?
It's odd.
Some call it cracking the bats. Have you seen this, C. Willi Myles?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they got an opportunity to do it last night. I didn't watch terribly closely yesterday afternoon's NLCS game.
I think you posted that the other day, didn't you, Ashley?
Yes,
Maybe
I did.
you could bump that up.
In their prior series against, was it San Diego? When someone hit a home run, the home run hitter and the guy who's in the on-deck circle, they greet each other at home plate. They jump up in the air and they knock peckers.
No.
They do, C. Willi Myles.
Man, they're really getting bored.
It seems dangerous.
They have some force behind it, too. It's not like a little tiny bump.
Well, these are pro athletes, yes.
I wonder if they're wearing cups.
Yeah, wearing cups.
I doubt it.
I'd be nervous about that if I wasn't.
Yeah, there's no physical contact. They're wearing cups.
They are wearing cups, I think. I'm with Randy Shaver. I don't know if they'll do it again But they did it a couple games ago. It was Kike Hernandez and a player by the name of Gavin Lux who knocked dongs at home plate. Of course, the godless, soulless, evil social media gets a hold of these things, and they argue back and forth. Some think it was hilarious. Others called it inappropriate.
Oh, who cares? Whatever.
Just jump up in the air, you hear.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if it sounded just
Sounds like a home run.
Hey, Randy Shaver, the Twins have upped and hired a new hitting coach now.
Wait a minute. How much did that cost?
I have no idea.
Is he a seeing man?
Why do you ask how much it costs?
Yeah, because they're always worried about how many nickels they're spending.
They hired
Barry Bonds.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Jose Canseco.
Then again, I heard horrible stories about when Barry Bonds, did he not have a brief run as the Florida Marlins hitting coach?
Yes.
Did you guys hear the same stories where he was so tuned out and just thought, I'll collect a check because I'm Barry Bonds, that they'd catch him napping in the clubhouse when the players are doing hitting drills and whatnot. He'd just be taking a nap. Wake me up when you need me. I'm Barry Bonds, that kind of a thing. It's not Barry Bonds. It's the former Baltimore Orioles co-hitting coach. He goes by the name of Matt Borgschulte, I think is how you say the name.
Okay.
All right, so that's the new hitting coach for the Twins. He's worked for the Twins before. He's done this and that, and he worked for the Orioles. There you go. Write that down. Matt Borgschulte.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
That'll move the needle.
Well, I don't think a lot of teams are looking to move the needle when they hire a hitting coach.
I'm kidding.
Name another hitting coach in big leagues. This is the anniversary of Kirk Gibson's home run from the 1988 World Series.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's right up there with Turkey Bucket in 91.
Oh, gosh, for sure.
Right up there with Turkey
Super
Bucket.
dramatic.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I just still, to this day, when I watch the footage of Gibson hitting that dong off of Dennis Eckersley, it just gives me chills.
That was incredible.
Yes, it was.
Isn't it hard? Like, not hard, but weird that you can remember watching that. I mean, literally watching it in real time.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, you were there. I was sitting there watching the game. That's back when I was into baseball.
Wait a minute. You were at the game?
No.
Oh.
I was watching the game.
Watching the game.
But I'm saying that's when I was into baseball.
Into baseball.
Yeah, because to me, baseball's not the same as it used to be back when I was watching baseball. Now.
Lots has changed.
Lots have changed, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to throw that out there because, yeah, that's one of my favorite memories of watching the World Series.
Well, I say that because the guys played hurt.
Well, Gibson certainly was not in great shape
like
that
those
evening.
guys would just play. I mean, they play through it now. It's like my mother-in-law say, "Oh my God, I get a hangnail and they're out for a week."
Right. And of course, I was a big A's hater back in the '80s. Of course, because of their rivalry with the Twins and the incredible call by "Don't Tell Me."
Vin Scully. Vin Scully.
I said "Don't Tell Me."
Vin Scully.
Is at the plate.
This improbable.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
I got goosebumps all over again.
See, Willie, you're doing the fist pump. That was awesome.
He's such if listening to Vin Scully do that, I mean, that's just an art to be able to to say a few words, let the crowd noise carry the moment, say just the perfect line, the perfect line after that, and then let the crowd noise carry. It's just such an art.
I even remember
amazing.
I even remember what Vin said as well. I don't remember the specifics. Maybe you guys can fill in the blanks. As Gibson is walking up to the plate, all hobbled and knob-kneed.
Yeah, he does have a line there too.
Vin Scully said something like, "All year long, he's answered the call." I wish I could remember the rest of it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Something about
It's a great line.
It was a beautiful thing. Folks were calling. last night's Jets-Bills game, the absolute opposite of a beautiful thing. They're saying it's one of the worst Monday Night Football games ever. The referees ruined it. I think the Bills and Jets, had a part in it as well.
Yeah.
They just. But the referees threw 22 penalty flags in the game, 10 of them in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it seemed a little ridiculous. Yeah, some of them seemed really bad, including the roughing the passer on me. That's not roughing the passer. I was about to play sarcastic if we're going to call those things.
That's the gas bag.
You would have whined. You would have whined if he hadn't called it.
I don't get the reference. Sarcastaball? What is that?
In South Park, Randy Marsh made just an offhand comment about like how it's soft, right? Youth sports. And so Sarcastaball, he kind of jokes about it, and it becomes this huge thing.
Oh, yeah, we don't want our kids getting hurt playing football, but I think I have a way to make it even better. Why don't we have the players just wear bras? Yeah, the players should all wear bras. And instead of helmets, they should wear little tinfoil hats, because, it's the future, and we shouldn't be so barbaric. You think the students would like that? Oh, they'd love it. A sport where safety is all that matters? How about we call it Sarcastaball?
Then it becomes wildly popular.
Okay.
That's some big Vikings news here. This is courtesy of Ashley. She found a picture on social media. It's a picture of a singer. Her name is Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah, she's very attractive.
Okay. In the picture, she's wearing a Sam Darnold Vikings jersey, and Ashley tells me that people are going crazy on social media saying that because Dua Lipa is wearing a Vikings jersey, that the Vikings are now going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, people are very excited to see her in this. And I've tried to look it up a million times to see if it's real or not, because it's hard to tell nowadays because of AI.
Right.
But so far, I'm not seeing anybody calling it fake. So.
And then apparently Sam Darnold's dating the Hawk Tua girl.
Hear that too, yeah.
Why are people texting that in?
Yeah,
that's the other rumor.
Because there's no way that's a true story.
I don't believe that's true, but
that's
who
been
knows?
debunked. I had people debunk that for me, thankfully, because I was like, come on, no. Gosh darn it.
Christ almighty.
Dua Lipa, though, I wonder what it'd be like having like a pop star hooking up with a pro football player.
It's never been done.
Would that get any coverage, you think?
That would be.
Well,
that'd be incredible.
Didn't what's his name? The former quarterback for Dallas. Didn't he date
Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo?
Oh, Tony Romo, yeah.
There's got to be another example that's more current.
Well, and then Sierra dated Russell, or married.
Sierra.
Somebody married Kim Kardashian for a little bit, too.
A lot of people married
that doesn't count.
Kim Kardashian for a little bit, too.
Reggie friggin' Bush. Yeah, I forgot all about that. My damn.
Yeah, but she's not a pop star.
No.
Just
She's just a person.
People can text in a more current example of a more recent example of a football star and a pop star. We're at
I can't think of one.
Nothing comes to mind.
989.
I cannot think of one. Damn.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that was fake.
Drives me nuts. I'm trying to think about it.
It's right there.
What's fake, Josh?
That picture of Dua Lipa wearing the Darnold jersey is fake.
Gosh darn it.
People
this
are
upsets you?
Yeah, I like her, so I thought that was nice.
I can't. She probably knows zero about the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, sure.
Maybe she's the Vikings' biggest fan.
Well, about 40 years ago, Rat played in concert at Met Center. I was there. And lead singer Stephen Pearcy, Josh knows exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of you are lost. But lead singer Stephen Pearcy, for the last two songs, for the encores that night, Josh, at Met Center, Stephen Pearcy emerged onto the stage wearing a North Stars jersey. I doubt he knew what the hell. I doubt he knew anything about the Minnesota North Stars.
I kind of wonder, like in the riders of some of these bands, if they say, hey, give us a jersey of a popular player from a popular team in your state. I'd imagine they probably do something.
Oh, without a doubt. But, yeah, I doubt Stephen Pearcy from the Sunset Strip of Los Angeles knew much about the 85-86 North Stars that year, but it was cool. Oh, my God, he's wearing a North Stars jersey.
We got a current example of some sort of athlete dating a pop star or a starlet of some sort.
Yes.
This person said a more current one. Joe Namath dating Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, wow. That was...
Yes.
49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall has returned to football practice 44 days after he was shot in the chest.
Dang.
Tell your mother-in-law about this kid if she thinks that they're not tough anymore, C Willi Myles.
Yeah, okay. I mean, did you see the video of the aftermath where he's just walking to the back of the ambulance?
No.
I mean, he looks shocked, but the dude's walking to the ambulance after getting shot right in the chest.
Oh, I did not know that.
Unbelievable.
Must have been a 22 or something.
I don't know.
A tough nut.
38 would have put him down. Oh. You don't walk to the ambulance with a 38
No, you don't.
in your chest.
Jim Harbaugh has a heart condition. Man, if he were a rich young lady and both her parents were dead, he'd be my dream girl.
Jesus
Man,
Christ.
just cold.
That's his motto. It's been his lifelong motto.
That's what I was taught. That's what my dad and his friends.
What I was taught.
My dad and his friends, when we were young, used to tell us, me and my brother and our buddies, they'd say, here's what you go for, boys. You go for a hot blonde. Maybe she's a little buxom, right? Her family's got money. Both her parents are dead, and she's got a heart problem. She said, that's who you're gunning for.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh couldn't make it through all of last week's game. He had to take a break at one point or another and go back into the locker room because he's got a heart problem. He's dealt with it before. He came back. He finished the game. And he explained to the media later that, I'm all right. It's just something I got to deal with now and again.
Well, what exactly is the heart problem?
Same thing that I've dealt with before in my life, Randy Shaver, like an accelerated heartbeat.
Yeah, my brother has that.
Your brother has that?
Yeah.
How long?
Can live with it.
How long has he been dealing with that?
It's a whole life.
Whole life.
Yeah.
Mine started when I was about 20.
Yeah.
And I've had it ever since, although knock on wood, I haven't had an episode in a long, long time, and I credit that to me quitting drinking caffeine.
Right.
I think that was a big trigger for me for many years. But
yep.
It's atrial is how you say it. Atrial flutter. Heart rate picks up for no damn reason.
Right.
Well, in his line of business, I can understand why your heart rate would pick up.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of folks live with.
Yeah.
Can you think of, were you ever with your brother when it set off on him? I mean, it's a frightening thing.
No, because his is not. It's not that bad. But I think there's levels.
Yeah.
Of when it hits you and stuff like that. But yeah, no. He gets it checked. He goes for his regular checkups every year and so forth, and they just
When I was a kid, it would scare the hell out of me.
Right.
And now that I'm older, it probably will worry me even more.
Right.
But, oh, God, I used to have these episodes. One time I was out playing beer league hockey. I was a young guy. I was like 23, 24. I mean, I was well aware of this problem.
Right.
But I didn't really take care of myself back then, not even close. I'm on the ice, and that sumbitch took off. I got to the hospital, and they took my pulse, and it was something like 260 beats a minute. It was just absolutely ferocious, my heartbeat at the time. Scary. Can be scary.
Yeah, he didn't. He just, he decided he wasn't going to play any sports. He didn't play any sports. And later in life, it doesn't bother him hardly anymore at all. Now he doesn't really drink anymore. He quit smoking.
Mm-hmm. That helped.
He was a lead singer in a band for years.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't do that anymore either. So
what kind of music did they play?
Clint. They played everything. He played with Ipso Facto. He was a lot of cover bands.
Yeah.
So West Side, Shaw Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Clint. His vocals are crazy.
You're also a great singer.
Absolutely not. I mean, I
got
do
a nice
okay.
voice. I could hear you.
I do
sing
okay.
well.
When I was growing up, my brother and I were in a band together. So when we sang in the choir, but I can only sing with my brother. You know what I mean? Like my brother knows what note I can't and can hit. Like if I need to go high and I can't, he'll just go high, and I know he's going to go high, and I just go low.
He's a pro.
You know, yeah, he's an absolute pro, and I'm just,
What was the style of metal that we learned about last week?
Oh, deathcore.
Deathcore. Did your brother ever play any deathcore?
I don't know what that is.
You're better off not knowing.
No. R&B, pop stuff. Like he could sing anything from Bolton to Luther.
Babs.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song, C Willi?
Yeah, Caribbean Queen, brother.
Oh, hey. That's a fun one.
Caribbean
I love
Queen.
it.
Now we're sharing
Billy
the same
Ocean.
dream.
Billy Ocean. I had the Jerry Curl back in the 80s. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing, buddy. This band would come to St. Cloud. Steve Millar, and he's passed away, God bless him. But he had a band, Steve Millar Band. And he every time they would come to St. Cloud, he would make sure I was on stage to sing Caribbean Queen. That's awesome. I'd kill it.
That's awesome.
Some people credit Billy Ocean with coming up with the moonwalk, and there's like big arguments online whether or not it was Michael Jackson or Billy Ocean who came up with that. They had a whole Everybody Hates Chris had a whole episode on that.
Did they really?
Arguing back and forth.
One. Josh, do you remember this gong show that I got myself involved in many years ago? We were on the air, and someone was talking about a local band, and I think I was already burned out on bar gigs at this point.
Yeah.
Because someone said something about the G.B. Layton Band. And I said, oh, for Christ's sake, am I tired of that? Jesus, pull your head out of your ass. Somebody hire someone other than the G.B. Layton Band to play this party. I'm so tired of that crap. I don't know. I lost my cool. I didn't have anything specifically against the band. I think I just done too many bar gigs, and I snapped on air, and I said, Jesus, I'm tired of that crap. Everywhere I go, it's the G.B. Layton Band.
They played everywhere.
That night, I had a bar gig working.
G.B. Layton.
That night, I had a bar gig where I had to introduce the band, and it was friggin' G.B. Layton. And I just, I had to bite the bullet, and I walk up to the dude, G.B. Layton.
First of all, he's a great guy.
He is. He really is.
And I learned that night. I walk up to G.B. Layton himself, and he's already laughing. And he says, oh, you're pretty pumped for this gig tonight, huh?
That sucks.
And no, we had a really good time. I explained to him the truth. I said, I don't have anything against you or your band. I just snapped on air this morning. I've done too many bar gigs. He totally understood, and we actually had a really fun conversation, and he totally got it. So,
That's not worse than me sitting next to Johnny Holmes and telling him, like, if I hear this band one more time.
You said
all of a sudden,
right
next time I saw him, he was standing on stage singing. I'm like, I just told that man I couldn't stand.
Oh, no.
Johnny Holmes was playing everywhere. If you went to college in St. Cloud State, they were.
Oh, yeah.
Every bar, every event.
Heck yeah.
The Johnny Holmes band.
were.
I never, I just heard them, and it's just like, oh my God. I said, well, just here with my buddy. He loves this band. I said, I don't get it.
When I was there,
and
C
nice
Willi,
to see him on stage.
when I went to St. Cloud, C Willi, they shortened it. Kids would say, "You're going to Johnny tonight, right?"
That's how much he played.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's still alive.
Well, Josh and I had a similar. Remember the Kid Rock incident?
I don't.
Oh.
We were on one of these silly radio vacations where they send different radio dorks to a tropical island. C Willi just got off a vacation in where were you again?
Turks and Caicos.
They used to send Josh and I to these glorious locations to broadcast, and radio people from all over the country would be there. And we were both, I think, about half full of beer and riding on a school bus full of other radio dorks headed to our location where we're going to broadcast and promote whatever we were there to promote. And they had a boombox on the damn. This will show you how long ago this was. There was a boombox on the bus.
I got that.
And this was when Kid Rock was brand new, and he had that single out called Bibbidi Da Bibbidi Boo. What the hell was that single?
Ba Witta Ba?
Ba Witta Ba, right? And that started up on the boombox, and both Josh and I went, oh, for Christ's sake, enough with this Kid Rock guy. I'm so sick of this stupid song. F&A, Kid Rock, enough with the kid. The gal sitting in front of us was a DJ from Detroit who grew up with Kid Rock.
Oh, no.
She turned around and said, well, he's one of my oldest friends, and I'm very happy for him. And we said, oh, for Christ's sake, here we go. It's going to be a long week. We both blew up and felt like jackasses later.
Get
new friends.
This is different. It's killing me. I don't remember the director we were talking to or the movie, but
oh, no.
One time we were talking about a new movie, a famous director. It's not
there's
Wes,
a W in there.
Is it Wes Craven?
Wes Craven.
Okay, and you were like,
Wow.
he's talking about this remake, right, of this movie coming out, and Nick asked, like, if he'd ever seen the original, and he said, not only have I seen it, I directed it.
Wes Craven, it was The Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes, that's right.
And what was funny about, well, I mean, other than the obvious.
Hilarious.
So he made the original Hills Have Eyes, and he also had something to do with the remake. So we have him on air to talk about the remake. And what's extra funny about it is I went into that interview telling myself, don't say anything stupid, because I did not prep at all for the interview. Didn't prep at all. I had heard the name Wes Craven a number of times, but I didn't do any prep. This is back in the days when I was drinking a lot and I disregarded a lot of responsibility. So I went into it telling myself, don't say anything dumb. Sure as hell. I said, so you remade The Hills Have Eyes, huh? He says, yeah. I said, did you like the original? And he said, well, I made the original.
That wasn't my question, sir.
And I said into the mic, Josh remembers, I'm sure. I said into the mic to see, what's his name again? Wes Craven. I said, I knew I was going to say something stupid during this interview, and he burst out laughing.
Oh, good.
He totally understood. He was not upset.
That's hilarious.
Randy Shaver. You mentioned this. You mentioned this kid yesterday. A lot of folks in town are excited about this Golden Gophers freshman defensive back by the name of Coy Parrish.
Yeah.
And his coach there, PJ Fleck. Coy Parrish was named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week.
Yes. Cut 2 interceptions and obviously played great at safety. He's had a couple of monster weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the first rookie. Pardon me.
Freshman.
That's
freshman.
In the college ranks.
Same thing.
Rookie, yeah, he's getting paid a lot of money.
Same thing.
First true freshman to win this award since Tyrone Carter in 1996. Wow. Tyrone Carter.
He was a great player, boy.
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Well, Coy Parrish is an outstanding player. He's got the Harrison Smith kind of body. He's got the size. He's got the speed. He's got the mentality. I think before it's all said and done, if he can stay healthy, this kid's going to be a draft choice in the NFL. He's going to be quite the player. Yeah, he's very, very good.
There you go.
He's got his footwork is great. I don't know who he works with, but his we call it swivel. That kid can swivel.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of defensive backs don't. It's hard.
I'm going to dump this on you, C Willi Myles, because it's one of the arguments that I like to create, even though there's no reason for an argument. There really is no reason for this argument at all. But who do you pick all time? There's a couple 3 we could throw into the mix, but I like to narrow it down to just 2. What did you just say his name? The Harrison something?
Smith. Harrison Smith, yeah.
Harrison Smith or Joey Browner?
JB.
That's the way I go, too. Again, it's an argument for no reason.
Yeah, I mean...
But I just like to create it once in a while.
I guess if I were voting, I'd probably go Harrison Smith. I mean, Joey Browner, obviously a great player, but I don't recall how long he played, but I think the longevity that Harrison Smith has had and the quality of play that Harrison Smith has had over the time, for me, qualifies him, I think, to be, other than Paul Krause.
That was the other one I would throw in, yeah.
Oh, definitely not Paul Krause. Paul Krause is the number 1 safety in Vikings history. There's just no question.
Yeah.
You don't have 81 career interceptions and not be in Hall of Fame and not be the number 1 safety.
Plus, when he wore that jersey number 22, when Paul Krause put on that jersey number 22, he did look a lot like Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard.
He did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
I got confused at times when I was a little kid because I loved Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard with the Mean Machine. I cry at the end of that movie every time. Paul Krause looked like Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Those are two different type of safeties.
They are.
Like when you talk about Browner
Absolutely.
and you look at Paul Krause was a great ball sighter. I mean, he would
like a ball hawk.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's
right.
And God bless him for that. Joey Browner would knock your head completely off of your shoulder.
Correct.
And that's like, to me, that's like Marcus Haynes and Lester Hayes. I mean, those are two different type of backs.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think Harrison Smith is a cross between the two.
Exactly. And
I think Harrison Smith is, because Paul Krause really was a center fielder for the Vikings.
Absolutely.
That's really what he's the best center fielder ever in the NFL. He read the play.
Mm-hmm.
He was always in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, think about, that's a record. We talk about records all the time. That's a record that I don't think will ever be broken.
Probably
81 career interceptions in the NFL. I just don't think anybody's even come close.
The Pigs are hoping Jared Spurgeon can play tonight in St. Louis. Erickson X should be back with that busted schnoz he was given over the weekend. Spurgeon is considered day-to-day with a lower body injury. We covered a little bit of this yesterday. You got to hope that kid can get back on the ice because he had such a miserable year last year. 6:30 tonight on ESPN. Pigs and Blues. Buffalo Sabres captain Rasmus Dahlin got physical during his team's practice on Monday. A lot of folks are wetting their pants over this on social media. So in the video, Dahlin hip checks one of his teammates, a kid named Peyton Krebs, and then they get to their feet, and Dahlin starts dumping bombs into his face or his half shield at practice. Couple of punches were traded. Their teammates stepped in to separate the two. Like I said, some folks are really wetting themselves about this. If you think hockey players only fight in games, you don't know hockey players. Teammates fight a lot.
I would assume that happens quite a bit, yeah.
So I just wanted to throw this your way to see if anybody was coming uncorked about this.
It's kind of like, preseason football practice or training camp where you see, skirmishes in practice. You used to see those all the time, maybe not as many nowadays as you did back in the day, but and nobody batted an eye about those either. I mean, nobody, it's just part of guys, being,
boys being boys.
Boys being boys, living with each other for a month and hating the fact they have to come to practice every day. And so
you end up hating your roommate. I mean, I think a lot of these stories come from people who are new to hockey. So they think, oh, my God, teammates fighting in practice. Well, the head coach didn't care. Lindy Ruff, well, he's nuts. That's why I love him. I love Lindy Ruff wouldn't care
being around forever. Yeah.
Oh, God. Lindy Ruff wouldn't care if they were beating each other with baseball bats on the as long as they came out ready to play a game.
Exactly.
Lindy, he was nuts when he played. I love him for that, though.
So hockey started up again already?
Hockey
was just over 2 weeks ago.
They're playing hockey, C Willi Myles.
Jeez Louise. It's just a 12-month sport now.
All year round.
This is what happens when you go on vacation. Things
I wasn't gone that long.
Things happen here while you're gone.
They're still walking around having parades for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Here's something real quick before we go, put together by a website called Yard Barker. Oh, they say this and they say that. And this is their way too early look at the top 5 NBA MVP candidates.
Wow.
Okay.
And they mention Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Of course.
I not the number one choice.
Okay. They mention that SAWFT soft-ass Luka Doncic.
Nope, he'll be hurt too much.
Here's the one I bet you Randy Shaver is all on board with, and that would be... Go ahead, tell me, Randy Shaver.
Victor Wembanyama.
He's not mentioned.
Victor Wembanyama will be the MVP of the league this year.
Whoa!
I thought that your favored player for MVP this year would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Certainly.
But I was wrong.
Certainly a great player. I'm going to go with Wembanyama.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a monster year.
The article also mentions the Greek Freak.
Yeah, he's always hurt, though.
From the Milwaukee Bucks. And they also mention...
I hope Ant...
Disappointingly, Anthony Edwards isn't included.
Yeah.
But they threw Joel Embiid in there just to get my blood pressure skyrocketing. Bum that he is.
Well, he apparently has lost like 30 pounds because of the pressure on his knees. And then I read the Sixers have decided to hold him out the rest of the preseason because his knees are already sore. So, and then Paul George just hyperextended his knee, and he plays for the Sixers. And so they're kind of off to a rough start right
You know what, Randy Shaver? My knees would be shot, too, if I went to the free throw line 35 times in a basketball game.
Oh, come on.
I'm so cooked on that Joel Embiid. He just stands at the free throw line. That's all he does. And gym teachers, Josh, they just roll the ball out. That's all they do. They just roll it out.
He earns his way to the free throw line.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
Oh, give me a break. Don't get me started on NBA referees. They gift guys like Embiid
No, they don't
trip after trip to the free throw line, and it drives me crazy. It doesn't matter because a listener has it right. He says there'll be dual MVPs this year, LeBron and Bronny. He's a cone. Snot Rocket Sheezes says right here about Joel Embiid, he's a cone.
What we call a cone. You know what you do with cones? In the summertime, you got a cone. You make a move. What does the cone do? Stay still.
Stays right there.
He's a cone.
It's a cone. He's a cone. It's orange from the thing you go. For whatever reason, that'll never get tired to me. Patrick Beverly explaining what a cone is to another grown man. Yeah.
Which is another reason why I'm picking Victor Wembanyama this year, because the cone is going to be his point guard this year.
Wow. Right.
Chris Paul is in San Antonio.
Right.
So.
Wow. All right. Well, I'll remember that. Wembanyama, he says. We got to get the hell out of here.
That's a good choice.
Nothing wrong with that. The kid obviously is very talented, and he's French. That's got to count for something.
Count for something.
He's got an awkward body. I don't like.
Awkward body?
He's too tall.
He does have an awkward body.
He's too tall.
Like a praying mantis.
He's got a 91-inch arm reach, man. It's a one-arm.
It's amazing.
There you go. Randy Shaver, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
Thank you very much. We'll take a break. Come right back with more from C Willi Myles.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this winter. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst time.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I thought I can just keep spending money, however, do this back of the envelope math if I just cover it by making more money. The three words that make me groan the loudest that broke people say is, I deserve it. I was saying it all the time. Well, I deserve a night out. I don't have any money, but I'll take my last dollars and do a night at a restaurant.
Find out more by searching The Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
You guys smell that? It smells bad out here, too. I'm starting to think this whole town smells like doo-doo.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, all right. Let's keep her rolling here. You're listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show with entertainer C. Willi Myles in studio. It is already 8:33. Coming up, we're hoping to jaw jack with Jackyl lead singer Jesse James Dupree. He and his band will be playing Friday night at our beer party in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. We call it the Brotherhood Bash. Jesse James and his band going to be playing Friday night. We're going to see what's going on with the man. C. Willi Myles.
Yes, sir.
I want to see what you make of this here before we get to Jesse James. Earlier on this morning, we were talking about narcissistic people.
I'd imagine you are an expert dealing with narcissistic people in your line of work?
Absolutely.
In the world of stand-up entertainment, in the world of radio, I think we cross paths with characters like this maybe more often than a lot of other lines of work.
Absolutely.
That's just my vibe on the thing.
You've told us stories.
Okay. One of the elements of narcissism is you are, in your mind, you're the center of the by God universe. There is nothing and nobody more important than you and what you do and what you say and what you think. Now, I'm not calling this straight-up narcissism just yet, but Dana handed us some information recently. This is certainly, if you ask me, someone who's on the brink of narcissism. Dana informed us that a friend of his has an aunt, and that aunt is planning an I'm Not Dead Yet celebration. Have you heard of this kind of thing, C. Willi Myles?
No.
Okay. According to the information that Dana handed us, an I'm Not Dead Yet celebration has become a thing, and the way the gimmick works is it's basically a celebration of life. Instead of everyone gathering to celebrate you and say nice things about you after you're dead, they show up and do it while you're still alive so you can enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, come on. Dana.
Yes.
Is this person in the process of dying?
No.
Well, then this is just all self-serving nonsense.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've heard of people who, are in the process of dying that do something like this, and that's
obviously
okay,
completely different.
Yeah, if you're like a healthy, 65 years old, and you're doing something like this,
this is all just self-serving garbage, in my opinion.
What's the? I mean, who comes up with something like that? The person who's getting the party thrown for them, or somebody else?
Right. That is exactly who it's for. You're a sociopath. You're just not narcissist. Here's the thing. You want people to say nice things about you, and then that's it. So when you die, there is no funeral. You don't get to
you don't get to double up.
You don't get to take that back.
Nobody gets two of those.
I want to hear it, and then after that, there's nothing. This is it. When I die, put me in the hole. Don't say a word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know this person, Dana? Why does this person think that her friends and family should show up and be like, well, you're this and you're that? I mean, I'm sorry, but that just makes my stomach hurt.
I've never met the aunt, but I just heard about it, that they were doing this. I thought it was interesting enough to pass along to you guys, see what you guys thought.
See, Willie, you bring up a good point.
Right.
If somebody has one of those, could I go to one and just wear casual clothes? I don't have to dress up. I don't have to not know how to act. I could just go and enjoy myself, say a couple of nice things, and then not have to go to the funeral?
Absolutely not. But listen, don't get it twisted. If you invite me, and if you're a prick, and you want me to say, I'm not. If you're alive and there's nothing wrong with you, I'm telling you the truth. Even if there's something wrong with you, I'm telling you the truth. But I'm not going to get up, and I remember this one. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. My dad, I went to a funeral with my dad and my mom. It was just my dad and my mom and I.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy laying in there. Everybody was walking up and saying all these nice things about Hank.
Mm-hmm.
My dad got up and looked in the casket. He said, I was just trying to make sure that...
He wanted to make sure the man was really dead?
Right. If
he didn't like
him,
the guy.
He was like, I don't think this is the Hank I know. It was my dad.
Because so many people were saying nice things, and your dad knew he was not a nice person.
He was a prick.
Yeah.
He was a prick. And there's nothing worse than for a narcissist to have people say stuff bad about him they don't know. So they want you to say good things in front of them, so everybody can say, oh, yeah, he's,
I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to trash talk somebody who just passed, but it is kind of weird. People didn't like that person, all the nice things they'll say running around. Instead of, maybe you just don't say too much.
Right. I don't go to funerals of people I don't like.
I'm with you.
Let me make that crystal clear because, that's 2-3 hours I can't get back.
C. Willi Myles, I'm on board 100% with what you were saying a minute ago, and I've made this clear a few times on this radio show. If you were an a-hole, if you were a prick, and you die, that doesn't change my opinion of you.
Period.
There are people who, the guy did die. Well, okay. I mean, that we're all going to die one day.
Absolutely.
The guy was a prick while he was alive, girl, whatever it was. That doesn't change my thought on it. Hey. But back to this I'm not dead yet party.
Nope.
I just can't imagine. Can anyone on the panel say that they'd feel comfortable being the center of that kind of attention?
No.
Well, here's your chance to tell me what you think of me while I'm still alive. That just makes me sick.
Plus, you know that person's going to be judging what you had to say, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that wasn't good enough for me.
Right.
I need more than that.
Right.
I mean, who do you think you are?
Right.
That is really, really strange.
That's sad.
To me. And
That's sad.
I think they should send a psychiatrist to these events and talk to the person. Absolutely. If they organize this themselves, yes, this is the party where you get a chance to talk to me and tell me what you really. If they organize that themselves, they should sit down with a specialist.
Right.
So your buddy's aunt, Dana, do you know who came up with it?
I don't know the specifics of that part. No.
Was it sarcastic, like more of a roast? Or did they? Because even then, that's a little goofy to do just like a regular friend. But
yeah, I feel uncomfortable even like throwing myself a birthday party. You know,
just because no one shows.
Yeah, just exactly. It's just me crying all by myself.
But I think this is an example of what we've become over the I don't know how many years with social media.
Right.
We've all become so in love with ourselves, and every little life accomplishment now is what? It's amazing.
Right.
And our lives are now a journey. We've got this whole self-centered movement that just rubs me the wrong way. This is an example of it, in my opinion.
Well, my wife told me this the other day, that a friend of theirs, and I can get on board with this, that he did his own eulogy before he died.
Okay.
He wrote out and recorded it.
He did.
Sitting at the funeral, and he was thanking everybody. You know, they played it at his funeral. He eulogized himself.
That's interesting to me.
That's
right.
cool.
But not to the point that he was a narcissist. He just wanted to thank all the people that he couldn't think that came by and saw him.
Wanted to make sure
everybody knew that he knew that they were there, and
make sure that nothing went unsaid.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he talked about his kids and his wife and his brother and his mom and dad and blah blah blah. And it was the coolest. She said it wasn't a dry eye in the place, but
yeah.
He just wanted to say all those things to them while they were sitting there and said, don't.
You know who else eulogized themselves? Grandpa von Wolfhausen in the documentary Beer Fest. But anyway, that's interesting to me, to eulogize yourself. And I also I want to go back to what you said a couple minutes ago. If you're going to have one of these I'm not dead yet parties, then you don't get a funeral.
Right.
If 100 people are going to show up and say, well, remember the time you were so wonderful, and you sit there and bask in the glow,
right.
It's just so sickening. I'm with you. They shouldn't get a funeral. I know somebody who recently had a, what's the term again? Wedding shower. Is that what? Right?
Yeah.
Wedding shower? Did I say that right? Anyway.
Well, there's a bridal shower.
Yeah.
There's wedding shower.
Yeah, wedding shower.
Those exist.
Where people get together. Over 100 people came to the wedding shower. There were invites sent out and fancy schmancy from top to bottom for their wedding shower. A couple people at the wedding shower said, look, you don't get a wedding now.
Right.
100 of us dressed up and all this fancy stuff. You shouldn't get a wedding now.
That's a little
Absolutely
extra,
not.
yeah.
That's just asinine, Jesus said. It's a good way to find out who's in and out of your will. Who shows up.
Josh, I love you like a brother. Beyond that, if your wife called me and said, well, I'm organizing a not yet dead party for Josh so everyone can say the things to him now before, I would say, I'm not coming.
Yeah, I would encourage you not to show up. That is so weird. I'd be so uncomfortable on any side. Going to one, certainly having one about me. I didn't have a 40th birthday party. I just felt like, it's too much. Like, I'm not going to do anything for my 50th. Just don't really need any of that kind of thing.
I just can't imagine being involved in a massive group BJ like that. You know what I mean?
We want you to say to him what you want to say to him. But he knows. Not coming. Ask him. He knows how I feel about him.
Well, as you know how these things take off because of social media, we'll see if any of us get invited to an event like this. To an I'm not dead yet party.
I'm not coming.
Yeah, that's the new name for it.
You want me to show up? Die.
It's just dumb because it's literally just the same thing as having like a birthday party.
Exactly.
Sometimes at birthday parties, people will like get up and say, give you a nice toast or say something nice if there's a big
Seriously,
group of people
I've never had that happen.
Yeah, especially at like a big one, like a 50th or a 60th birthday party.
Oh, sure, I could see that.
So it's just like if you had those already, why do you just want another party? You just want another one.
You're a narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was actually just talking about this topic with somebody at my half birthday party. I have one right in the middle of the year whenever I'm whatever it is and a half.
Half-assed morning show 93X.
All right, I'll tell you what, it has been a while, and we're really excited to talk again on the telephone with one of our favorite rock and roll singers, and excited to see him perform this Friday night at our Brotherhood Bash out at Turtle Lake Casino in Wisconsin. On the telephone, the legendary frontman from Jackyl, James Dupree. Hello, Jesse.
What up, my brother? Good morning.
I'll tell you what, man, all the memories come rushing back now hearing your voice of Jackyl partying here in the Twin Cities back in the day. We had a riot. We hope everything's going great for you. Thanks for calling us.
Well, you know what? I'm glad to be talking to you. Glad to be coming back to Minnesota. It's been a minute, and this is a special night. I got my son Nigel. Have you met Nigel before?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. And the last time I saw him, Jess, I think he was a 12-year-old or something. How old is Nigel now?
Was that in Sturgis?
It was not. It was right here around town. But there was a stretch of time where when Jackyl would come to town, you'd bring Nigel with. I mean, maybe he was a little older, maybe 15, 16. But, yeah, Nigel's in your current group. How old is he now?
He's 30. He's running around being good looking. And he just got back from Japan. He was over there touring for a week. And then before that, he was 3 weeks over in Europe. And I caught him in between his band out touring and stuff. So I grabbed him up. And because he plays on my solo album called Breathing Fire. And, we'll do some Jackyl stuff. We'll do some stuff off the new album. And we throw in some fun covers, things that I've just always, songs I've always loved and such. And, of course, the Turtle Lake Casino it's an incredible place to have a concert and a party. And the fact that you're going to be there is badass. So I love that.
Yeah, man, we're going to have fun. It's a cool venue. I know you guys will love it. I mean, it must be a hell of a thrill to be touring around with your son in the band. The Breathing Fire record, you worked again with Brian Johnson, did you not, on this record from AC/DC?
Yeah, it was really funny, man, because I started working on these songs, just having fun and jamming with Nigel, and that's what it was all about. And I went back and listened to some old AC/DC records, and I guess I was just very influenced by listening to those old records, like High Voltage and stuff like that. And we were just in the studio having fun, kicking out some jam, and then. About 2 days later, after we did it, the phone rang, and it was Brian Johnson from AC/DC. Hey, Jesse, how you doing, me son? And we sat there, and we caught up on, how each other was doing and everything. And I said, look, I just wrote some songs. You got to help me write the lyrics. And he said, send them down here. So about a third of the album is written with Brian Johnson from AC/DC. And just what an honor to work with that guy.
Oh, I know. I mean, we all grew up listening to AC/DC, and I still go back and listen to the old records when I get a chance. So that's doubly cool. Nigel in the band, who you said now is 30.
People ask, what's it like playing with your son? And and you've been around bands, you know how it is. You get in rehearsals, or you are out touring or whatever, and you go through things, and the band can have some disagreements about how a song should go, or what part should be played, or how it should be played, stuff like that. And bands can work through that. But when you're sitting there working with a father and son, you've never experienced anything like that when he throws the drumsticks down and he goes, Dad! It's funny. We actually, on this album, it was just so much fun, and I was just trying to keep up with him and Roman, because Roman from Jackyl was playing bass, and they grew up, Nigel grew up playing with Roman, jamming around with him anyway, so it's an honor to be playing with my kid and with Roman, and it's a fun band. So you got to come out and check it out at the Turtle Lake Casino, and we got to get you back to Sturgis this year.
I'll tell you what, I'm too old, James Dupree.
No, it's the 85th anniversary of the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally out at the Full Throttle Saloon and Pappy Hoyle Campground, and man, it'll blow your mind when you walk on the property out there.
I'm sure it will, and it's so cool that you are involved in so many different things, the saloon, your own liquor, you're managing bands. Are you just on the cell phone all day long or what? I mean, that's a lot of work for one guy.
Yeah, we do. You know, the most fun thing that I'm having right now is, I work and consult with the Harley-Davidson Motor Company, and we do a lot of marketing opportunities with Harley-Davidson, and we do a series called Rolling USA, where we'll do Rolling Daytona, Rolling Sturgis, Rolling Milwaukee, Rolling Arkansas. We do all these different 6-week-long events, and every single one of them, I get to give away a brand new Harley-Davidson motorcycle to somebody. God. So I get to be Santa Claus. I just gave away my 20th Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
You got life nailed, Jesse James Dupree.
That's awesome.
And we're so proud of you and so happy to be joining you again this weekend at Turtle Lake Casino, because it has been a long time. We've been talking about you the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about Jackyl, talking about Jesse James Dupree, talking about the new record, Breathing Fire. And one of the stories that I always come back to is seeing you guys open up for Aerosmith here in the Twin Cities many years ago, and all the women in the audience were paging through you naked in Playgirl magazine. Hello.
The point and giggle issue.
I mean, I remember that so vividly. What are all the women doing with the Playgirl? And I had forgotten. Well, Jesse's in there, for Christ's sake.
One of the many things that I never in my life would I deserve or should have thought I would be doing, but I get away with it. So I keep moving, I don't want to stop and think about it. I'm afraid it'll all disappear because it's been a blast.
Yeah, that's great. Now for old Jackyl fans, when you hit the stage, you still chainsaw this and shotgun mic stand that. You still pulling those tricks out of your hat, Jesse?
Yeah, man, we got everything. Like I said, we'll play some Jackyl. It's a well-rounded show, and if you want to get a dose of what the album's about, you can go on YouTube and check out either the video for It Never Gets Old, which, like I said, was written with Brian Johnson from AC/DC, or if you want to see something really beautiful, and when I say beautiful, you'll see what I'm talking about. Go check out the song Stranded on YouTube. Go check out the video.
I just watched it last night.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I have.
Did you shoot?
So cool.
Did you shoot that? Where the hell were you when you shot that? It looked like you're out in the mountains.
We were in South Dakota back in February, and it was so cold. It was like 30 below, and we were out there freezing our ass off. But we went out in the middle of the night, or it's actually in the middle of it. It's toward right before daybreak, and we went out and we built a fire on the prairie. And I'd asked this. None of the video, none of it really was planned to a T. It was just something I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. And I asked somebody, I said, hey, you know anybody's got any horses? He goes, yeah, I got horses. I said, okay, what color are they? He said, I got one white one and one dark one. I said, okay, that's exactly what I need. And then I said, what's the place out on the prairie we could shoot before daybreak, and because I want to shoot and then get the sun coming up? He goes, yeah, I got a place out, there's some ranch land out. So we went out there. And we were sitting there filming with the fire and stuff, and the sun started to come up. And I get up on the horse, and they're just going to film me riding to the top of the hill. And I get up to the top of the hill, and here comes 100 buffalo.
Oh, Jesus.
You could not have planned. If I'd have tried to plan that, it would cost me $500,000. But just so crazy. But the guy that shot it, Tristan Bernard, just is a phenomenal camera guy. He captured a lot of great stuff. And then I'll tell you a quick funny story. You've been to Deadwood, right? Mm-hmm. So we go into old Deadwood, South Dakota there, and the old a cowboy town, and we go in, and I'm looking for a place that looked like a dated piece of a saloon. Mm-hmm. And we're looking through these different bars, and there's this woman sitting at this bar, and she's sitting there having a drink. She owned the place. And I said, nah, this looks more like 1920s Al Capone. I'm looking for something like an old Western saloon look. And she goes, you can shoot it downstairs. And I said, what's downstairs? And she goes, that used to be street level before Deadwood burnt down 5 times. And I went, okay. And she goes, downstairs is where Wild Bill got shot.
No kidding. Oh.
Yes. So I went down. It went down the steps, and sure enough, there's an old saloon down there, what was left of it, and that's where we shot the bar scene. Just all of it just came together. It's really, really a beautiful video. It's called Stranded, and you can find it on YouTube under my name, Jesse James Dupree.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just watched it last night. We encourage folks to check it out. Jesse, it's been a pleasure talking to you again, and we're going to go find you this weekend at Turtle Lake Casino out there in Wisconsin and hope to say hello in person.
Friday night, my brother, I got a cold drink waiting on you, so come on.
It's a beautiful thing. Thanks, Jesse.
See you, my brother.
We'll see you on Friday. Yeah, we're going out to Turtle Lake Casino, going out there Thursday.
We were wondering earlier, is it going to be the same Jesse James Dupree? He has not changed a bit.
No, dude.
Not changed at all.
I mean, he sounds the same as when he was 30.
He sure does.
He gets himself out of breath, which is so hilarious because he was just built for this.
That motor's running.
Yeah, that was great. I was thinking about bringing up, Jesse's a Georgia guy, you're an Alabama guy. I don't know if there's going to be any static between the two of you.
No, I don't. I'm an Auburn guy. I don't care about
the Crimson Tide
or Georgia
or anything like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Friday night, Jesse James Dupree's band playing out at our beer party. That ought to be great.
Maybe we'll see a father-son squabble right there on stage.
I was going to ask him if his son is allowed to call him dad.
I could see him just saying, professionally, maybe they want to
in a
keep that to a
professional
minimum.
seat.
100% he calls him Jesse.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think in front of certain people. Yeah, in front of certain people. Yeah. All right, C Willi Myles, welcome back from vacation.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
brother.
appreciate you making this one of your first stops. That's awesome. Man.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to be up just for the fans out there. I'll be up in White Bear Lake this weekend on Saturday at the Hannafee Theater.
We're back in town by Saturday.
Yeah.
You need a bunch of hungover friends to stop by?
All of them. Well, it's a beautiful theater up there in White Bear Lake.
One more time, what's it called?
The Hannafee Theater. I think it's Lakeshore Players Theater, which is inside of that big theater.
Nice.
We encourage folks to go see C Willi Myles, of course.
First time performing there, so
All right.
looking forward to it.
Cool, man. Thanks again, C Willi.
Always great to see you guys.
You bet.
Hang out.
Definitely. A couple texts before we get out of here. P-Man text in happy 13th anniversary to his beautiful wife, Angie. And this text says, it's that time of year again. Want to give a birthday shout-out to my brother from the same mother, Wolfpack Softball Jesus, from the better-looking brother, neck like a stack of dimes, arms like buggy whips Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Ashley here. Get your home ready for winter. Schedule your furnace tune-up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and save $30. Have a boiler? Save $40 on your boiler tune-up. Visit standardheating.com to book and lock in your savings. Stay cozy, stay ready.